Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is JGL's biggest D, Dan Ryan.
Hi, everybody.
He's lint rolling.
I'm trying to. Hold on. It was very unprofessional for our first official video podcast, Kris. Hold on.
Welcome.
There we go.
Welcome, everybody, to Dan, to our 600th episode of the Stone Age Gamer podcast. And the first episode we are doing with video. Yes, for our YouTube audience, you can now look at our beautiful bearded faces in real time. Why would anyone want to do that? I guess we'll find out. As for the subject of today's episode, it's time for the Golden Caveman Awards. Which games were the best of the best in 2025? Beware the terror of the Homeowners Association, because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
I have a lot of pets. I don't...
Hi, everyone. This is episode 600. It is the week of January 9th, 2026, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the heck else is going on in our lives. And speaking of which, Dan, how you doing? How was your New Year's?
I mean, we stayed up and watched the ball drop. So, you know, like that was a thing we did. It's so much different when you're, like, in your 40s as opposed to, like, at least when I was a teenager, it was, like, out and at parties and doing shit that I absolutely shouldn't have been doing. And now it's like, yeah, okay, the ball dropped, okay, we're going to go back and watch some more Sherlock, because why not? Like, just not a thing. And my kids did not fucking care at all. They're like, yay, cool.
Yeah, Ellie had a sleepover at her friend's house. John, we all played games together. I'll talk about more about that in the checkpoint a little bit later. But we had a lot of fun playing some video games together. And then John was just like, I'm gonna go to my room for a while. And so Karen and I were just like, do you think I'll be up there for 2 hours? Let's watch the Stranger Things finale. So we did. And I have thoughts on that as well, but we can talk about that more in the checkpoint.
We can't. I haven't watched any of it yet. We finished Pluribus. We're going to start Stranger Things tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not going to give any kind of spoilery thoughts. It's more of a structural thought that I'd like you to look out for and let me know what you think of it.
Okay. I'm excited.
I was great. I was thrilled. Loved the season. Loved the ending. And I'll talk more about that later. Yeah, no, we had a good time. I didn't really sleep as much as I should have. I'm pretty freaking tired. I wanted to get myself a little bit of a nap today, but that did not happen. I was just kind of relaxing, doing a few little chores, little things here and there, and we're recording a day early because I'm going up to my in-laws for the weekend. I played a bunch of Metroid. Again, I'll talk more about that later, too.
Yeah.
So,
I spent the whole day cleaning. This is as good as it got. And this is a fucking disaster. But, like, you know, as I showed you earlier, I will get out of the way. Oh, God, he fell over.
Oh, no. Poor Mega Man.
I at least have Mega Man and Shumagoroth ready to go. So, you know. Sorry,
so I guess
Gargantos.
Gargantos. For our listeners who haven't really seen our workspaces, that's the Memorial Annex right there, the Jose Canseco Memorial Annex, and this is my basement in its current iteration, which looks a bit different than it did in the last video tour thing that I did. But it's all here. Got a little X-Men poster back there, and there's the arcade cabinet that you folks built for me. That's a couch. There's a dog on it. You can't see him. There's a pack phone right back there. That's the Pac-Man pack phone. There's Rob the Robot, and I got Asteroids playing on the TV. I felt like there needed to be something on the TV. There's a big blank screen behind me, so
it's a little weird.
I thought there should be something there. So I'm just gonna put.
And it definitely shouldn't be porn.
Not that kind of podcast. Not till episode 700.
We don't want to get demonetized on the first episode.
Right, yeah, not yet. We got to rake in all that fat cash.
That's right. We don't want to piss the sponsors off. Thanks, Simply Safe. I don't know.
Well, I guess we should probably get started.
Yeah, sure.
ExpressVPN.
Oh. I forgot who was paying the bills this time.
It's Squarespace. Oh, God. Anyways, so it is the first, I guess, official episode of the new year. We were technically a New Year's episode last week, but Dan and I were still in 2025. Now we're both in 2026, and it is time for the 11th Annual Golden Caveman Awards. We've been doing this nonsense for 11 years. This is where we're going to give out our Game of the Year stuff. So we kind of standardized a bit this year. Instead of going through our usual nonsense of, well, here's just a bunch of random categories. We did
bunch of bullshit. Yeah.
We did kind of put things together in a decent stack. And I think, do you want to just kind of go from bottom to top? Because, like, obviously we're not going to start with overall.
No, I think that's the way to do it. Start with the unfortunate caveman, and then kind of work up from there.
Work our way up. All right. This was kind of tough. I had a weird year for video games. In some of these categories, I kind of didn't really have anything super amazing to put in them. Although now I'm rethinking something. I think you should go first. I think you should kick us off. Or do you think I should go first?
No, I'll go first. I don't give a shit.
Have at it.
Yeah,
well, I'm looking up something.
So our first award is the Unfortunate Caveman Award, and this is the award for the most disappointing game, the worst game, the Unfortunate Caveman. And I am awarding this year's Unfortunate Caveman to Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, because fuck you for charging money for that. That's fucked up. It's bullshit. You should bet it's bad, and you should feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable.
Wow. Same.
Really?
Yeah, my Unfortunate Caveman is, in fact, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. What a... I was angry at this game. I got to review. I was actually excited for it. I really thought that this was going to be... Because this is my kind of stupid. And it came so close to being, like, kind of cool a handful of times. It really it got right there. And it just... No. The character designs were dumb and bland. Some of the writing was genuinely funny. Some of the questions that they asked were neat. Some of the information was super cool. But it's the instruction manual. It's the coolest instruction manual you've ever played, except... Why are you charging money for it?
Why is it $10? But
everything, it should have been packed in. At the very least, it should have been for free to anybody that had an NSO subscription. The fact that it wasn't is just so grimy. And Nintendo has definitely been a bit grimier this year than they have in previous years. Like, they've always had their thing about valuing their properties and whatnot, never really dropping prices. But man, this year they really towed the line a couple of times, and this Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour was one of those things that just rubbed me the wrong way.
It's just not okay. Like, it's certainly not okay at $10. Like, $10 for that? Are you
seriously?
$2.99
tops
would have been better,
semi-acceptable, right? Because they did put effort into it. But come on, like. This shows everyone how cool your system is. Yeah. This shows you all the cool things your system can do. That's the kind of thing that you want to be giving away. And I can't believe here we are in all these months later and they still aren't giving it away. They're still charging money for this thing. Like,
they can't.
So curious.
But they can't give it away. At this point, you can't give that away. You can't piss off all the people that spent $10 on that thing.
Yeah, all 25 of us.
Well, I don't. However many it was,
they could totally backpedal and give that away now. I mean, do you see that kind of stuff happen all the time? It's like a game going on sale. Freaking nonsense.
For nothing.
All right, what's next? What's next?
All right, so my Retro Reignited Award. This is the award where we are giving out where a retro property has been brought into the new millennium era, whatever the fuck you want to say it. Somebody's taken an old property and done something new with it, slapped a fresh coat of paint on it, and made something awesome. And my Retro Reignited Award goes to Shinobi Art of Vengeance. That game is fucking dope. I started playing it this week. It just takes everything that was kind of really great about Shinobi and modernizes it, which is exactly what I wanted. Full disclosure, I'm not all the way through it, so I can't 100% say if it feels like Shinobi all the way through, but right now this feels like Shinobi. And
I played through the demo, and
it's awesome.
Yeah. Hard agree. That is an excellent choice, and if I'd played more of it, maybe it would have gotten mine too. But I really haven't played the proper game. I just played through the demo, which I thought was fantastic. It was a great evolution of Shinobi. It did for Shinobi what Ninja Gaiden Ragebound didn't do for Ninja Gaiden. Ragebound is a phenomenal game. I absolutely loved it, but it's not a great Ninja Gaiden game. It's its own thing. It didn't really feel like a proper evolution of that core Ninja Gaiden gameplay, right? That NES trilogy that this is a sequel to, that was all about, these precision jumps, and, the combat was a very specific kind of way where it's very halted unless you're in midair, and you're constantly getting items and using ninja magic.
Right.
And this really just kind of went a very different direction with the way it handled things like ninja magic. So it's didn't quite scratch the itch for me as far as it being a proper retro reignited thing, as it were, because it didn't take those core mechanics and modernize them. It just made a really cool new game called Ninja Gaiden. But that said, this wasn't
which is
Ninja
okay.
Gaiden 4. Yeah, this wasn't Ninja Gaiden 4. This is an actual Ninja Gaiden. This is an actual side story for Ninja Gaiden, which is very cool. Love that game. Love it to bitty bits. So I guess it's my turn. We moving on to my turn.
Yeah.
My pick for Retro Reignited game of the year would be Breakout Beyond.
Okay.
I loved Breakout Beyond. I thought it was there's been plenty of reinventions of Breakout over the years, official and unofficial, like from Arkanoid to even, was it a Breakout Recharged, which was also great. But Breakout Beyond, man, I've played through the thing. I think I've played it through to completion like twice this year. It's just so cool. It's, turning the whole thing on its side, I thought was utterly brilliant. The way it matches the music, the slow down mechanics that you can always catch the ball. Like, not even always. It's still hard sometimes when you're trying to catch the ball, even when you have access to that slow motion. It was just such an immensely satisfying and relaxing game. I think the folks at Choice Provisions did an incredible job of taking Breakout and turning it into something just a little bit different and way more modern feeling than the original. Yeah, loved it. Yeah. Love it. Breakout
That's
Beyond's
awesome.
Amazing.
That's awesome. Not something that I got to this year, but not for any other reason other than there's 100,000 things I didn't get to this year, All right, moving right along. Best new character. So I don't know how you're going to feel about this one, but for me, I thought the best new character was Pauline.
I knew that was going to be your pick.
DK Bonanza. I just absolutely loved what they did with that character. I thought it was such a smart reinvention of that character and really kind of made her matter in a way that she never really has. And there was just such a sweetness and a joy, and it was just so much fun playing through that game and kind of getting that human perspective in the middle of all this fucking weirdness that's happening. Was just really, really awesome. And I think they just did an absolutely wonderful job with her.
Yeah, hard agree. That was, she was it was a coin flip between her and the character that I actually decided to pick, and I'm just being a goober by picking the one that I did, because Pauline, I would agree, is the best new character in just about every regard. I agree with everything you said. She made that game a joy to play through. She was always fun. I loved, how nervous she was to sing. I love all the callbacks to her original character. I still don't understand it. I don't understand why she's a kid, but I'm glad.
No,
because it doesn't matter. It's Donkey Kong.
No,
who cares?
It's Donkey Kong. Who gives a shit?
She's
like, we're really going to sit here and argue about the fucking lore of Donkey Kong? I don't give a shit. It was a great character. It was a great game. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. No, my best new character of this year goes to Barb from Be Brave Barb.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I mean, that tracks.
This game is it's not the most amazing game you'll ever play. It's not a great game or anything. It has a couple of like pretty tragic flaws, but there are things about it that just resonated with me so much. And you're this little cactus who is like having some emotional problems, and she's going to therapy, and she's got this book of positive affirmations, and the whole game is just you trying to get the pages of your book of positive affirmations back. And I just found this character so lovable. Like, it's not that deep or anything. It's very silly. So, I mean, obviously Pauline is a more well-written character.
Sure.
But there is just something about Barb. Like the name, the fact that she's a cactus, thing, like the
that's outstanding.
Positive affirmations that she wrote, right? Because they were hers that she wrote. They're very specifically tailored to her. So when you find them and like they say these very specific things about her, and they're almost jokes, but not really. It was just. I don't even think it was even intended to be this endearing, but it really was to me. I found the whole thing super, super endearing, and I think she's a wonderful character. I think that there's a lot to be done with this gameplay, but we can talk more about that. That's a different category. As far as the character goes, when I think back to this year, it was Pauline and it was Barb, and I just had to go with Barb because I'm a sucker.
Barb and Smash. When?
Just Barb come for on. Smash. Never.
Barb for Smash. All right. Best new IP. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. The Golden Caveman for best new IP for me is Ball Pit. What a fucking awesome ass game this is. It is, if you were listening to last week's show at all, you heard me kind of go through a lot of my thoughts on it. And if you weren't, why? Go back, listen to it. It's great. It's such an interesting concept. You were talking about, breakout and whatnot, like just such taking that kind of brick breaking mechanic and turning it into an adventure game, kind of, but with all these wild fucking power-ups, like very Vampire Survivors in that respect. There's the town building aspect of it, just all of the stuff that's there. Really, really just thought it was an awesome IP. And I kind of waffled on what to give the best new IP, because there were a couple other games that came out this year that were brand new that I felt were very, very strong, but I don't know that they have the potential for sequels or just more content the way that Ball Pit does, because Ball Pit can just kind of continuously go on. There's more to do with that. So that's kind of where I was looking at this. The standpoint I was coming from is what leaves itself open to future shit, and Ball Pit's what it is. Game's awesome. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm a little ways into it. Not super far. We'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
I agree. It's a very neat thing. I think I approached this category a bit different than you did, because Ball Pit, I wasn't really thinking about, I don't know, maybe I was. Ball Pit didn't really strike me yet as far as the actual character of it. I love the gameplay, but like there's nothing I've seen so far about its actual personality that I really like. Which is why it didn't even cross my mind as far as best new IP for me. But I haven't spent a lot of time with it yet, so we'll see if that changes. Oddly enough, my best new IP for me was Be Brave Barb. Again,
that's
not an amazing
surprising.
game. It's
yeah.
I feel like it's getting more accolades than it should right now, but for these very specific things, I thought it did very, very well. The characters that this game set up, I thought were really neat, and there's a lot of potential here, right? The gameplay itself was kind of broken in several sort of ways, but the core of what it was supposed to be, like the weird gravity mechanics of this game, with some refinement, I think a sequel could be amazing. I think you could really build on this and make something very, very special, which is not really Thomas Young's style. You're usually very, very iterative, and it doesn't need to be sprawling or anything. But I do think that some sort of refinement to this, like the camera angles, the way Barb controls, there's a lot that could be done. This is a very, very clever game because of its weird gravity mechanics.
Right.
And its worlds are super bright. The music was incredible. The character designs are all great. The story's funny. The weird cat cloud thing that stole your positive affirmations. The whole thing is super bizarre, but it's really, really cool. It was of all the new properties I played this year or read about this year, I thought that one was the one with the most promise that brought me the most joy.
All right. So now we are on to best story.
We are.
My Golden Caveman for best story goes to a game I literally just started this week. But I love the story. I love the way that it started. I love the kind of simplicity of the story, but the overall impact and the emotion that was delivered just right in the very beginning of the gameplay. And that is Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei basically is Kill Bill, right? Like, she starts off with her list of motherfuckers she's got to go out and kill, and the first one you start with is the snake. And just the way the story is delivered in the game in such a way that it's really kind of like heartbreaking. It's really powerful the way that it kind of pushes you through. As you're playing through the game, you can switch back when you get to certain sections. You can switch back and play through memories, right? So you go back and you're playing Atsu's memories when she was a little kid and things that she was, doing with her family or just all these different things that impacted her. And I found that just such an interesting way to kind of progress the story if you choose to. You don't always even have to go back and play through it that way. But they kind of hit you with it right away. You're like, the game dumps you right into the middle of her family just getting fucking slaughtered, and it's brutal and it's awful and it's super emotional and all of that. And then it, kind of pushes forward a little bit, and she is on her way back. She is on that bloody, rampage of revenge, and she roared and she rampaged and whatever the fuck Uma Thurman says in Kill Bill. It's a basic story. It's a simple story. But I just thought it was just so incredibly well done that it gets the award.
Nice. I didn't really play. Sorry if I'm looking down from the camera right now. I'm gambling.
Yes, how dare you? Eyes are up here, Kris.
Yeah, well, money's down here. So.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I didn't play much in terms of games with like extraordinary stories.
Yeah.
I rather enjoyed the story of Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I wouldn't call it high art. It was just told very well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was
absolutely was.
So really, for best story for me, like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the story was fine. I gave it to Silksong. Because Silksong's got incredible lore. I didn't get very far into the game, so I'm just assuming it's got a really good story at this point. Because I didn't do much when I look through my list of games that had an incredible story. But so that is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it, which I would like to, let me see if you'll permit this. Best story, I would like to nominate Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not because of the Mortal Kombat story, but the literal story, the documentary content that is the game. I thought that was the coolest story that I experienced this year in a video game, was Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, the documentary content. All right, so you'll allow it?
Of course.
In that case, that gets my vote.
I am a benevolent ruler, apparently.
You are indeed.
Sure.
You know how to handle the JGLD. You know what's cooking. You know what's up.
Certainly do.
In that case, the story of Mortal Kombat was really, really interesting. And it was very well told, at least the first 3 chapters of this the Legacy Collection. I really love the way Digital Eclipse handles these things. And getting to actually see like the actors performing the moves like behind the scenes, and the way these things came together, the story of why certain decisions were made at certain times, and how these games caught on in popularity, how they were developed, how this team got put together in the first place, this tiny team that made the original Mortal Kombat. I thought it was a really fun story. I also really liked the Namco Legendary Atari 50 thing, but that was also very short, and Mortal Kombat really just has that beat on content overall. So there you go. That's my vote for best story. Mortal Kombat
that tracks it. That is the game. That is the gameplay of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Yeah, at least part of it.
Yeah,
because Mortal Kombat's obviously the gameplay.
Yeah,
and Mortal Kombat's awesome.
Sure. All right, so going on to the next Golden Caveman here, which would be the most interesting mechanic of the year. And I have a tie. No, not really a tie. It's just the same game, but for 2 different things. It would be the just destroy everything digging mechanic in Donkey Kong Bonanza, and also the Bonanza transformations. I thought they were just so absolutely wonderful. So most interesting mechanic would be, I guess, the new way you play through DK Bonanza. Absolutely just so much goddamn fun. I know destroying a destructible environment is not adding a spoke to the wheel, right? That is something that has been done hundreds, if not thousands of times before. But fuck, was it the most fun in DK Bonanza. I
can honestly say I have never had using hand gestures. I can use hand gestures. No, I don't want to use hand gestures.
You can. That's like if you give like the thumbs up, it'll like shoot. Well, that's hold on.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm done. I saw
the
you do
there.
That.
It is. Yeah. Even with my fucking wonky thumb.
Yeah. No, I'm turning that off. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Did the heart?
No.
What if we do that? I don't.
I very, very much agree with your Donkey Kong situation, and that is also my pick. Is specifically the terrain deformation in Donkey Kong Bonanza. It was. Yeah. I've seen terrain deformation before, but never as fun as this. Like,
it was just a blast.
It was handled so incredibly well, and the way it kind of. I had such a fun experience with this one that I said it on the show before. It really called back to the first time playing through Metroid Prime. Because Metroid Prime was the first 3D Metroid game, and I remember playing Donkey Kong 64 back when it came out, and nothing about that felt like 3D Donkey Kong. It felt like its own separate entity, but it didn't feel like I was playing a Donkey Kong Country game in 3D. This one didn't start off that way, but at a certain point while I was playing the game, I had that Metroid Prime moment where I was like, I played a couple hours of Metroid Prime, and then I'm looking at the map trying to plan out where I'm going to go and figure out what I'm doing. I'm like, holy shit, I'm playing Metroid. It just snapped with me like, wait, this seems so different on the surface, right? Because the things you're doing are intrinsically different. Like the jumping is not the same in Prime at all as it is in the 2D Metroid games. So it was intrinsically different, but then what the core of what actually made Metroid, that was actually still there in full force. And that's what happened with me in Donkey Kong Country. You're not riding animals on anymore, but you're turning into them. So that's basically the same thing,
Yeah.
And you're still running around areas and bopping bad guys, looking for bonus levels and collecting bananas. That is the core of what Donkey Kong Country is. You go through stages, you jump on things, you bop bad guys, you find bonus levels. That's all there in Bonanza. It's just also got this wacky terrain deformation thing going on, and it works brilliantly in 3D. The game's genius, and
it was great.
The smashing through everything, couldn't have been happier with it. It was a marvelous mechanic. Well done, Nintendo.
Well played, Nintendo. Good job. All right, our next Golden Caveman is for the best visuals of the year, and I gotta be honest, this one wasn't even really close. It is Death Stranding 2 on the beach. That is just the most gorgeous game I've ever played. It's absolutely fucking stunning. All of the weirdness, all of the nonsense, all of the just crazy shit that happens in that game is just beautifully rendered. In that, I think it's the Decima engine, I think is what Kojima Productions uses. We can get rid of Unreal. Like, we can be done with that, and we can just use this. It's just, what a fucking stunning game. And all of the differences. Did I just turn... Oh, I just turned the motion
tracking back.
I did. How did I even do that? I didn't even have my fucking hand up. Anyway,
you did. You were talking with your hand. You did this.
I did. I did the fucking thing. Anyway, I will sit on them so that I don't, and then it'll be awkward for everybody. Everything in that game just looks fucking incredible. From the snow-capped mountains to the crazy fucking tar pits to the deserts to just it's fucking stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I will take your word for it. I could not be less interested in Death Stranding.
No, it is definitely not for you.
Especially
definitely not.
Death Stranding on the beach just makes me think you've got a PlayStation Portal in your hand and you're playing Death Stranding on the beach, but
yes.
Yeah, okay.
I could now. I might.
Could. I think you should play Death Stranding 2 on the beach on the beach.
We'll do a podcast from there next summer.
It'll be great. Swim Trunks edition.
Ooh.
So I kind of honestly, what I wanted to give this to, I can't give it to because it's not a game. It's just a demo. I wanted to give it to the demo for Final Fantasy VII. Because I just, honest to God, could not believe what I was looking at.
You can.
No, we'll see what the full game comes out.
All right.
So that being said, and I'm putting a really big asterisk next to this, because it's not the entire game. It's just most of it. But the most impressed I've been with visuals this year has been Metroid Prime 4.
Okay.
There are so many things in Metroid Prime 4, like so many environments and so many, you can still tell that this was made for the original Switch. And in fact, the original Switch version is a miracle. It's astounding how good it looks, because this is Retro Studios really harnessing art direction to make something that just looks incredible. And especially when I first started playing the game, with like Fury Green, there's just so many times that I've stopped and just looked around. Not just to scan things, but like I have just stopped and looked around at these environments. The desert is not one of them. The desert is what it is. It looks fine.
It's a desert.
It's pretty barren. It could be more interesting. We've been having a pretty fun conversation about Prime 4 in the Discord, and it's really wild because me and Rumblemans, I think we overall have very similar opinions on the game. I'm just enjoying it a lot more than he is. Although I completely agree with all of his complaints. The game's got some pretty big problems, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't having an absolute blast with it. Like, I wish I was playing it right now. I was playing it right before I came down on the show, trying to figure out where to find how to get these big robot pieces back to a thing. But it's
there is nothing I'd rather be doing than this show right now, Kris.
That's a good point. I mean,
but that's the kind of podcast host I am.
Yeah, that's not me. No, I would rather be doing just about anything
asshole.
else. I hate you.
It's fair.
Amusingly enough, that's actually how we met. Was I had determined that he was my arch nemesis when we first met.
Mm-hmm.
That went on for like a couple of years, I think. So I finally succumbed to the love, and nothing I can do about it now. But
yeah, the love and the hand jobs, they really
they go hand in hand. Metroid Prime 4 is a beautiful game. In so many places, it is so fascinatingly well drawn. I love Samus's new suit; looks incredible. Viola, the motorcycle, looks incredible. There are definitely moments where it's like, well, all right, the geometry on this could definitely be better. The texture on that could have been better when you get like close-ups of things. But even the NPCs that everybody seems to hate, their faces are like wild. They look really good, and it's really nice to see that hyper realistic look, as opposed to like, because the original Metroid Prime went for realistic humans, and then like Prime 2, I think, was when they made her look a bit more anime style when she took off her helmet at the end, just to kind of match Zero Mission, I guess. I don't know, it was weird, but these characters all look great. This game looks just breathtaking in so many instances, so it definitely gets my visual award for the year.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to starting it. I just have a lot on the plate currently, which we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, next up, I'm really curious as to where you're going to go with this one. Our next Golden Caveman is for our soundtrack of the year, and for me, again, this wasn't even close. It's South of Midnight. Just not even fucking close. The songs in that game are so incredible, and the way that they are used to push the story forward, and just some of them are quite silly because they're a bit on the nose. They're like, there he is, he's right there, oh shit, watch out, like that kind of thing. Like it's like, all right, that was maybe a little bit on the nose, but for the most part, there are these really cool songs that are just done incredibly well, and they add so much depth to the gameplay, to the story. It's a beautiful game. And what's really cool about the music is that it's just so varied. It's pulling from that, kind of Americana South folklore, New Orleans, and all of the different influences that you would imagine would be in a game, drawing inspiration from that. You get that in this soundtrack. It is fucking astonishing. Absolutely loved it.
Good word. I like being astonished.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's cool. I did not play South of Midnight, so I don't really have much of a frame of reference there, but I'm in a similar boat where it was not even a contest for me. It wasn't even close. My soundtrack of the year is Mario Kart World. Just, it's so good. And there's so much of it. It is.
Yeah.
It is a massive, massive soundtrack that spans a handful of great new songs and just this wild history, for Mario games' entire history. Mario Paint, Dr. Mario, like the Mario Lands, the mainline Mario games, every Mario Kart. There's wonderful, wild reimaginings of songs from the entire Mario history, plus new ones. And it's outstanding. I have many times just put the game on the title screen or whatever, and just plugged it into my stereo system and just let it play, because it's just like, here's this really cool Mario jazz radio station. It's just fantastic. I almost couldn't be happier with it. It's much like everything else about Mario Kart World. Sometimes you run into a little bit of Mario Kart 8 may have done this particular track better, but there's also it's different. It's a very different approach to some of the songs, like N64 Rainbow Road. The Super Nintendo Koopa Beach song sounds so good, and it's in a totally different style than I ever would have imagined that song. It is so brilliant, top to bottom, and it is like it's seriously a couple hundred tracks. Like no,
it's a lot.
It is a massive soundtrack.
Yeah.
They went so hard and so overboard on that soundtrack, and I couldn't be happier. It's amazing.
Yeah,
worth the price of admission,
awesome.
As high as it is.
It's pretty fucking high. All right, let's see. All right, next up. This is a bullshit award for me because I didn't play any collections. But fuck it. Collection of the Year, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. I am confident that if I had played a collection...
is it a collection? I thought it was just Final Fantasy Tactics.
I don't know. Yeah, it is. I just wanted to give it an award for something.
But it's not a collection.
I know! I didn't have anything else. I was going to do Suikoden. All right, fine. Fuck it. Suikoden.
Isn't there
1
a
and 2.
remake?
I didn't play any of them.
That's the next category. Remake, remaster.
Okay, well, fuck it. I didn't play any of them, Chris. I don't have anything for this one.
Okay, then Dan, here's what you're going to do. You are going to give the award to Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Tell me why.
Right,
tell me how good it is.
Because it's so fucking good. It's like the history of Mortal Kombat. And they're like, hey, here's the thing. And there's the guy and the toasty. And then the fucking shit. And then the get over here. And then like John Tobias. Fucking John Tobias, right? Tell me about John Tobias. And Ed Boon? Is Tobias even one of the people? He is, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. The Cybot in... Noob Cybot. Yeah, no, it's fucking incredible. What Digital Eclipse has done. Simply stunning. I don't have to tell you.
No,
you know all about it. No, you know.
Do.
You know about it.
Well, see, I'm going to disagree with you there because...
Yeah, I had nothing for this.
It really was my pick.
Yeah.
But I really kind of waffled back and forth on it because... It doesn't stick the landing. Like, it falls apart at the end as far as, like, the documentary content, and...
It's not Bubsy.
It's no Bubsy collection, but then again,
I swear to God, that better not be your award, because I'm out.
It's
We're
not.
Done.
It's definitely not my award, because it is not a perfect collection. It's missing Super Bubsy, and therefore it is, by definition, not perfect.
Yeah.
No. So I'm actually going to go ahead and give this to the Atari 50 Namco... whatever the hell it's called. The
DLC for... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Namco DLC in Atari 50. I was going to give it to Mortal Kombat, but the Namco Legendary Collection. Again, because this is a really important thing that I think happened. Pac-Man not being in Atari 50 was one of its biggest problems. And it was one that I completely understood, because it's a whole different set of rights to get Pac-Man. But as not great as the Atari 2600 Pac-Man is, it is an extremely important piece of Atari's history. So to not have it in the collection in the first place was really, really disappointing to me.
It was.
This collection,
it just felt really weird that it wasn't there.
It's the same thing as Space Invaders. Space Invaders was an absolutely monumental piece of Atari history. Space Invaders, Defender, Pac-Man, E.T., like, these are all things that need to be a part of this history, but for obvious reasons, you can't put them into a product that you're going to be selling without paying the right people. And I get it. It's unfortunate, but this is the reality of our system. But now we get this DLC pack that's got great stuff like Xevious and Dig Dug, and obviously Pac-Man, and it's missing Ms. Pac-Man and Junior Pac-Man because Namco's rights to those games are super in question, which is really, really freaking weird.
Really weird, yeah.
But again, it's the reality of things. But this is such a huge step in the right direction, as far as at least giving us the one major big piece of it, that Atari 2600 Pac-Man, which is so important to the history of the games industry, to Atari's history, and the story that was brought along with it. The documentary content was utterly fascinating, as always. And this Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is not part of the Gold Master series. This is, and you can kind of tell the difference there in the way that it's been approached, because the trouble with the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I think, came down to it smelled like meddling to me. It smelled like this is
You never want to smell like meddling.
No, you definitely don't. This is a mandate. This is what this is supposed to be according to Warner Brothers, and this is how soon this game needs to come out, et cetera, et cetera. That's kind of what that smelled like to me. Well,
I mean, thankfully Netflix doesn't give a shit. So
yeah, no, they couldn't care less.
Yeah, it'll be great.
But all their Gold Master Series stuff is very thorough and really goes the extra mile to make sure that they're telling the real stories, for good and bad. And this was very much that. It touched on all kinds of stuff, like, you know, the fact that you hear these songs in various TV shows, like the sound effects in various TV shows, the weird status of like how Atari kind of got Namco into video games in the first place. It was so well done. It's very small, but it packs a huge punch.
That's awesome. One of these days, I will get around to this Atari 50 thing.
You really should.
I should. I feel like I would enjoy it, but you know, with all the free time I don't have.
Hold on a moment. My mom is calling.
Now you have some editing you have to do for the video.
I'm not going to edit that out.
Why not?
I mean, I am.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say.
I know exactly what I'll do, too. I'll do one of those cool, like, flipped things. It'll be like... Yeah.
That'll be fun.
What the hell are we talking about?
We're on to our next award, Kris.
Next category.
Next category, remake/remaster of the year. To the surprise of absolutely no one, my Golden Caveman goes to Metal Gear Solid Delta. Holy fucking shit, that game. Jesus Christ. I mean, just well done. More of that, please. More of that with Metal Gear Solid, Twin Snakes, whatever the fuck. I don't care which one you do. But more of that. It was just such a well done, smart update to a masterpiece of a game. Visually, it's fucking stunning. Just an absolute. That is the way that you should do a remake, right? If you're going to remake/remaster something, especially a beloved title, that Metal Gear Solid Delta is exactly the way that you should be doing it. Such a brilliant fucking game. Absolutely loved it.
I didn't, because I didn't play it. But no, that doesn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah, no,
I've heard
that.
I've heard it's a pretty solid remake.
Well done.
Thanks. I'll be here all week. Okay. This one I really struggled with too, because I didn't play much in terms of remakes this year. I kept looking through, like I kept thinking I was forgetting something. But I wasn't. I didn't play a lot of remakes. So I decided to go with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Because I did put a handful of hours into that, and I do think that's a bit more than just the game running on Switch 2. It's so pretty. It's so much prettier than it used to be. I think I put like 3 or 4 hours into it before I had to play, new games than replaying Breath of the Wild. But it felt like it just felt like a new game to me. It felt so much smoother. I mean, the game runs at a solid 60 FPS now, and it's just stunning. Tears of the Kingdom, the same thing, but I didn't really play much of Tears of the Kingdom. I was playing more Breath of the Wild, and holy crabs, it's awesome. So there you go. I'm really sure there were better candidates this year, but yeah.
I thought you were going to go with Kirby, because the update applies the graphical fidelity to the base game and whatever.
Not nearly as big of an update. Kirby was already gorgeous, and Breath of the Wild was already very pretty, but like, hey Hopper, this was the Breath of the Wild upgrade was huge. It's absolutely massive. Whereas Kirby, like it's gorgeous, it's stunning, but it's not quite as breathtaking as Breath of the Wild was. And Kirby was great. I mean, if we were going to pick a DLC of the year, I'd probably pick that one. I think that's what I picked on
maybe
Nintendo
we should
Force.
do that.
That was one of those categories. There's always next year.
Yeah.
We'll grab 2026 by the JGLD, Dan.
Right, by the JGLD. Our next category is Developer of the year. I kind of went developer publisher of the year. Because it's our world. We fucking make the rules as we go. But my Golden Caveman goes to Nintendo. Because even though they had some significant misses, in my opinion, this year, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour and Dragon Drive being among them, they also did put out some really huge titles this year and really, really good games.
They finally got Metroid Prime out the door.
They got Metroid Prime out the door, DK Bonanza, Mario Kart World, Pokemon Legends ZA. Like, that's pretty fucking good for a year. That's pretty fucking good. So, I couldn't really think of anybody else that would even come close to that. Except, I know you're going to say, I know who you're going to say. But,
mine's Thomas K. Young.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't play any of those games. So
he released 3 good games this year. This is a mostly one-man operation. Released 3 genuinely good games. Be Brave, Barb, Dunkadillo, and Dadish 4. That's a heck of a feat. With great original music. None of them are these huge, sprawling masterpieces. They're all very self-contained, but also they're really fun. They brought me so much joy this year. They were exactly what I needed them to be. They made me laugh. They're video game comfort food. And the fact that there were 3 new games from this dude this year I just thought that was incredible. So he definitely gets my developer of the year. I hear where you're at with Nintendo. I feel like Legends ZA is kind of a point in the negative column for them.
My kid seems to like it.
My kid likes it too, but also when you consider that the Pokemon Company is one of the richest things on the planet and how little effort was put into making this game really anything special, like it's got some neat mechanics, it's got some neat evolutions, it's tickling the Pokemon vibe, but it could be so much more, and it should be so much more.
It probably could be.
For the price, and then you tack on the extra, $30 for the DLC for the price? Yeah. Are you kidding me with this nonsense? Then you've got Mario Party Jamboree plus Super Mario Party Jamboree
whatever the
TV
fuck.
Or whatever, which the graphical upgrade only applies to the DLC, not the main game.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
Excuse the shit out of me. And then what was up with the DK Bonanza DLC? Like, no.
Also shit. Yeah.
Also, this is not worth the money. I
agree,
but you got to do better than that. They did have some very high highs, but like Dragon Drive, the Welcome Tour, just breaking the price barrier with Mario Kart World, like.
If we're being honest,
it was rough.
You put this category on your list because you wanted to give Thomas K. Young an award. I had to come up with something. Because I didn't fucking play those games.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, this is a category I've wanted to do for a while. And Thomas Young jumped out at me this year. I was like, I need to remember to do this year. Because I like it when you look at like I definitely would have given it to like Devolver Digital in past years. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
Yeah. Either Dev or Publisher of the year kind of a thing. Because sometimes you just get like, you get years where somebody does a bunch of really incredible stuff. Like Digital Eclipse had a pretty solid year. I think that Power Rangers game was not as good as a lot of people were hoping. But
right.
Between the Namco DLC and Mortal Kombat Collection, like Digital Eclipse definitely was a runner-up. But I think the fact that Thomas Young is such a small indie studio, dev, whatever you want to call it, I think that really pushed him over the top for me.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking it back from Nintendo. I'm giving it to Rumblemans. He fucking put out a bunch of games this year.
That's great.
Fuck Nintendo.
There you go.
It's all for you, Rumblemans.
Rumblemans gets the award. No, you're absolutely right. That's a great pick. Well done.
Yes. And if you would like to find out more about that, go back into the archives, find our episode with Rumblemans. It was fucking great. Yeah. It's amazing.
Good dude.
Anyway, so now we're into the big biggies, Kris. We're into the big biggies. Our next category is Game of Another Year. And this one, I guess maybe is kind of a cheat because it did just come out this year on PlayStation, but it did release last year for Xbox, and that would be Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This game, it's Indiana Jones, man, and I really do wish that it was in third person. That, if this game was in third person, it would be one of the best games I've ever played. The fact that it's in first person and it is still one of the best games I've ever played is really incredible to me. I have two complaints about this game. Okay, two complaints. One is third person. Yes, two complaints. My hands don't fucking work.
You've adjusted.
This is easier.
Ways.
Yeah, this is easier. So first person, I would prefer to be in third person. That's just a me thing. The other complaint I have is also kind of a me thing, but not necessarily. You have to do a lot of sneaking around in this game, right? Because it's Indiana Jones. He sneaks around and he's kind of stealthy at times. He's not always, action punchy, kicky, shooty. He does that a lot, but not always. But right now where I am, I'm walking around Giza in Egypt, and there's a bunch of Nazis there. And I shouldn't punch the Nazis right now. But they're right. Nazis.
So you want to punch them.
So I want to punch them.
Guys.
It's like I feel very G.I. Robot. Like, oh, Nazis. It's fucking awesome. Like it really manages to feel so much like an Indiana Jones adventure, right? Like it feels like a natural part of that canon. The voice acting is really, really well done, even though it's not Harrison Ford. The graphics are fucking stunning. The story is just as nonsensical and bullshit as every other Indiana Jones story. Really, internet. We can talk about that later, but they're all fucking fakakta nonsense. It's fucking great. It's really, really, really impressive. And I'd be really curious to see what your opinion would be.
Can't wait. It's coming out on Switch 2.
When it comes out on Switch 2, I hope it plays really well, because there's a lot going on. Like, it is a very pretty game. And it just does certain things. Like, there's certain quality of life things in it that are just so welcome in this type of game. Like, as you're going through caves or catacombs or wherever the fuck you might be, and you have a torch or a lighter, right? So you're walking around and you can, like, hold the torch up, or you can keep it in front of you. Like, I think if you hit L2, whatever, you, like, holds it up so you can see better. That's what I am doing right now. That's not jerking someone off. That's holding the torch. When you walk by something...
Carrying the torch, huh?
That's what, carrying the torch, right. When you walk by another flammable surface, you don't have to then, like, hit another button to light that torch on fire. It's not like press square to light torch on fire. He just fucking holds the shit over and lights the torch on the wall on fire, and then you just go on with your day. Like, that sort of non-immersion breaking stuff that is in the game is such a welcome addition that I didn't realize I had missed or wanted, I guess is the best way to put it. It's a really, really incredible game. I am absolutely having a blast with it. Yeah. Gets the award for Game of Another Year.
Okay. I actually didn't. I am looking forward to playing the Indiana Jones. I think what's it, Troy Baker who's doing Indy?
Yes. Yes. He does a great job.
Harrison Ford impression is astounding.
Yeah. It's better than Harrison Ford.
It's pretty outstanding. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a shot. I will say that I didn't play a lot of old games this year outside of the Alphabet Super Series, and as much as I would like to offer
Zork,
Contra Legacy of War, the title.
Oh, it's got to go to Zork
last year. I don't think we played it last year. No, I'm going to give this one to Stray. I played
Oh,
Stray
right on.
right in the beginning of the year, and that was a really,
What a good
really
fucking
good
game.
That was a very good game. And I was really concerned that it wasn't going to run well on Switch because the early previews of it made it look like it wasn't going to run well on Switch. But then it wound up running just fine. I had a really good time with it. It was either that or Split Fiction, but I think I liked Stray better than Split Fiction because the writing in Split Fiction kind of made me want to gouge my eyes out. Dialogue in that game was abrasive. For all the issues I have with the dialogue in Prime 4, which aren't that many, they really don't bother me. But God, there was so many times the conversations that were being had in Split Fiction really just made me cringe, for lack of a better word. Stray, on the other hand, was really freaking cool. That was a really cool game. It's such a good
game. It's not the best game ever made. It's it's just a really solid, really well executed idea.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It was an experience that was well worth having, and I'm glad I played through it. Yeah, didn't blow me away like Undertale did, but I gave that I kind of wanted to give that one this year because I finished it this year. But I gave the award last year, which it was so I couldn't really give it 2 years in a row. So I was like, Stray.
You could. It's Undertale.
Stray will do it. So Stray definitely gets my award.
All right. So we've got 3 awards left. So I just want to, for those of you who have been with us for a while, this is not your first rodeo, but perhaps your second or third rodeo. Usually the way that I have done this is I've done an indie game of the year, a non-indie game of the year, and that's kind of been it. And sometimes Kris has felt more strongly about it than other times. So this year we came up with a compromise. We are both going to give an indie game of the year. We are both going to give a non-indie game of the year. And then we are going to say which of those is our overall game of the year.
So real quick, before you go
that about sums it up, right?
It does. Yes, that sums it up. I also had a handful of personal categories because, I tend to make up categories for awards every year. Should I do those now or should I wait until after we give our big game of the year?
Go ahead, do them now. I did not do that, so go ahead and do those now.
All right. My biggest bunch of bullshit award, which is an award I have given every year, I think, since we started this. This year's biggest bunch of bullshit award goes to Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV for all the reasons that I claimed before. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Usually I give this to a spot in a game that's complete bullshit. That really makes me angry. But this one, just making me say the words Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV for something that is not worthy of that many syllables can just fuck all the way off.
That's right.
Biggest bunch of
and
bullshit.
People that had to write that, fuck that. Because there's
okay.
no good way to abbreviate that.
There's not.
Yeah. Once again, proving that Mario Party is the biggest piece of shit in gaming.
I really like Jamboree. My award for excellence in the field of mediocrity this year goes to Shadow Labyrinth. That might have actually been the biggest letdown for me, if not for Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, because I really liked the concept and the game itself. While I hate being so angry at it because it tried.
It is trying.
They really did put some real effort into this. I just don't think they crossed the finish line. They just did. It's not that they didn't stick the landing. It's that I don't think they ever landed. And the game really felt like nothing more than mediocrity to me. It just didn't do it.
It's just fine.
It's kind of a heartbreaker. Yeah. Let's see. Game that didn't get the attention it deserved. I would give that to Looney Landers. This is from Pixel, the same studio / dev. I'm not 100% sure of the story, but this is the folks behind Donut Dodo and Cash Cow DX. Looney Landers is such a good time. It is on, I think, Steam and Atari VCS. I don't know what else it's on, which might be why it didn't get the attention it deserved. I don't know why this hasn't landed on Switch yet. But it is a blast. It's a super fun game. It's perfect classic arcade action, and I feel like almost nobody talked about it, which kind of breaks my heart. And the last one, game I regret not playing this year, because there's always games that always games that come out in a year that I wish I could have gotten to that just time and or money does not permit. The game I regret not playing most this year that I'm really looking forward to playing as soon as I get a chance, this is probably where I'm going after I finish Prime 4, is Adventure of Samsara. This poor, stupid game came out the same day as Silksong. Silksong dropped its release date, and they had already picked that date, and they were like,
right,
look, we picked this date, we're sticking to it. And I think it just got completely steamrolled. I think it looks really neat. I have seen a few reviews on it, and they're kind of mixed. I'm very looking forward to giving it a try. I downloaded it on my VCS. I cannot wait to give it a proper go. It's just kind of a shame that it disappeared in the abyss that was Silksong earlier this year. But there you go.
Yes.
Those are my personal awards, my personal Golden Caveman Awards. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yep, I didn't have any of them. I didn't know we were doing that, but no, I'm just fucking with you. All right, so, man, I got to be honest with you. I really thought the last couple of years, right? I've been very, very confident in what my indie game of the year was going to be, what my game of the year was going to be, right? Spider-Man 2 is coming out. Spider-Man 2 is going to be my game of the year. Like, obviously. God of War Ragnarok is coming out. God of War Ragnarok is going to be my game of the year. This year, very, very surprised. My indie game of the year is not Hollow Knight Silksong. That is my runner-up. Because also this year, Blue Prince came out. And fuck, Blue Prince is incredible. Like, Hollow Knight Silksong is great. But it's more Hollow Knight, which I've already done, right? Which is maybe unfair. It's great. But I've played that already. And Blue Prince is completely different. It was completely new. It came out of nowhere and just absolutely sucked in me, my kid, my wife. We just sat. Roddy couldn't give a fuck because he was like, brain hurt, me hate, that kind of thing. We absolutely fell madly in love with this game and the puzzles and the mechanics and the challenge and the lore, and just there's always something new to discover, and so many months into the release of this game, and people are still finding new shit and still finding new puzzles, and the developers have said, like, we're never going to tell you when you find everything, but you have definitely not found everything yet, and there's still so much more to uncover with this game. It's just absolutely brilliant. I was completely blown away by this game, and I just... It's one of the first things that I did on the PlayStation Portal when I got that for Christmas last week. Like, first thing I did was play Ridge Racer, because it's a new PlayStation system, so you have to play Ridge Racer. But then I fired up Blue Prince, because I was like, fuck it, this is like the perfect way. This is the perfect system to just jump into this. We're watching TV, or Tiff's watching a murder podcast on YouTube or whatever the fuck. I'll just pick this up and do a run or two of Blue Prince. And, fuck, man, what a fucking game. Just absolutely incredible. Absolutely blew me away. Gorgeous graphics, sound design, outstanding. It is just amazing, and I hope everyone gets a chance to play it and get unbelievably frustrated by it and drawn into it and just falls madly in love with it the way that we did.
All right. Yeah, I'm really hoping it shows up on a platform that I can play, because I don't have a Series X or PlayStation 5, so...
there's no reason... there is the Mac OS version. There's no reason it can't run on a Switch.
Yeah, I
can't imagine
it'll show up on Switch or Switch 2 at some point, but that's the world we live in. So, that being said, mine goes to Silksong. it's outstanding. It's more Hollow Knight.
It is.
Hollow Knight is fantastic. It's extremely well put together. Again, I didn't get super far in it because it's just not where my head's at this year. It involves a lot of focus. And focus is not something I had a lot of in 2025 for various reasons. I do look forward to getting back to it at some point. But it really kind of knocked my socks off when I was playing it again. Just how much more alive it is than even the original Hollow Knight. You know, the attention to detail and the backgrounds and the wonderful animations and the weird bugs and the everything involved in it. It's just
the music is stunning.
Yeah, it's such a masterfully well done thing.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 game.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like Silksong being your indie of the year is not a surprise. I think it's more of a surprise that it's not mine. You know what I mean? Like
that something else came along that impressed you enough to be able to say that Silksong wasn't your thing.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's a little bit more than just more Hollow Knight. Like there is more to it than that. That's a bit reductive, and I don't necessarily mean that.
No, you do. You're a big asshole too. I get it.
I am just fucking massive asshole. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. All right. So, non-indie game of the year. And I think you'll notice a theme here because my non-indie game of the year is not Death Stranding 2, which I thought it was going to be at the start of this year because, like I said about Hollow Knight Silksong, there's more to it than that, but it's Death Stranding, but more and better.
But on the beach.
But on the beach, right? It is also
sand
not...
makes everything better. Ask Anakin.
That's where I was going.
And course.
And course. And... it is also not Ghost of Yotei. Because that's Ghost of Tsushima, but more and better. But I've already done that, right? And maybe in a different year, had I not just come out of getting the all clear from cancer like I did, and had this not been the first game that I played together with the family, and really all four of us played it together, and it was really the first thing that I was able to do in about a year and a half or so, where I really felt like myself. And it's not a perfect game. And I do have some issues with it, but I said at the time, if you go back and listen to the episode where we talked about this game, that it is one of those games that now that we had finished, it's going to go into the rotation with the Uncharted series as something we go back and play year after year because it's short enough and it's good enough and we just enjoyed it so much. And the fact that it is getting released for PlayStation 5 and Switch 2 means that I have an excuse to go through and play my non-indie game of the year, which would be South of Midnight. That game fucking blew me away. That game is just incredible. I think it's important that it shines a light on a culture and stories that very often are ignored in this particular, space in the video game world. A young female black protagonist from the South is just not something that you see a lot because she's not a dude, bro. Like, it's just not a thing that you typically see. It's, and not trying to start a war and not saying that those things don't have their place because I love, Uncharted as much as the next guy and the Indiana Jones games and all of that shit. South of Midnight is representative, and that's important. It also is a beautiful game. The stop motion animation style, just the graphics that they went with, the choices that they made, that art direction is so fucking cool and it's so different and so interesting. The story is fucking nuts. It's insanity. in all the right ways that like mythology and folklore and all of that stuff is. The music is incredible. I had my issues with the combat being somewhat repetitive and that sort of thing, but the combat's fucking repetitive and Uncharted as well. You know, and I fucking love those games. This just was a game that really hit for me at the right time. I think it's a wonderful game. I hope now that it's going to be on PlayStation and Switch that a lot more people give this game a shot. It is just fucking awesome. And it was my favorite game this year. Or non-indie game this year.
Okay. That's I can't say that's terribly surprising. A little bit surprising given the other games, but you've talked about that one in ways that you hadn't talked about the other games, you know? Yeah. So it's on my list now. You know, after you talking it up as much as you did, I'd definitely like to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Mine on the other hand is not surprising in the least. It's Donkey Kong Bonanza. I wasn't expecting to get hit in the feels while playing a Donkey Kong game.
Right?
But damn if the relationship between DK and Pauline wasn't just the sweetest damn thing. The game looked just looked great. I love the redesign of Donkey Kong. I think it's brilliant. I think it's so much better than the Rare one. I think it's a wonderful way of modernizing that character. I think the combination of DK and Pauline working together, the fact that the local multiplayer was not useless, the fact that there were so many different mechanics being thrown in throughout the course of the adventure, the fact that King K. Rool and the Kremlings came back.
That entire end sequence
so good
is
the King
incredible.
Of Rot. Oh my god, that was so good. I did have my issues with it. It wasn't a perfect game.
No.
I do wish that there was more music in it because of a game that had such a strong focus on music. The fact that there wasn't more general stage music. The deeper you got into the game, the more it was just ambient sounds, and they were very good and they were very effective. But boy, if Donkey Kong Country is the music is such a big part of Donkey Kong Country, and anytime that you got those the reprisals of older songs, like oh my god, the Sticker Bush Symphony stages, like were amazing. Like, the fact that you played that one retro stage just proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this game's mechanics would also work just as well in 2 dimensions. Like, give me a whole 2D Donkey Kong game like this. And this isn't like a Mario Sunshine
That's the
situation.
DLC I wanted. Not whatever the fuck you gave me.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I remember when Mario Sunshine came out, it was like, this is neat, but like, can I just have a whole game of these bonus levels? This was not like that. This was like, this is amazing. Can I have this too? Because that just worked. No, I was floored by this game in a way that I really wanted to be. Because again, Donkey Kong 64, I never even finished it. That game did not do it for me. I just don't like it very much. It doesn't play like Donkey Kong Country. It plays like Banjo.
Generic 3D platformer. Yeah.
It was very impressive in some ways, but it just wasn't for me. And I love Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. I don't love 3, but I love Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. And this one, DK Bonanza, just it just scratched every itch that it's the game the Switch 2 should have launched with. I don't think there's any question in my mind. Yeah. Mario Kart World is phenomenal, but Bonanza was the big, adventure game, I think, that really should have kicked things off on this platform. And it came out a month later, so it's not like it was way off, but still.
No, but still.
It's a genuine masterpiece. I will go back and play it again. I still haven't gone back to 100% complete it, but I intend to at some point.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm going to, because new games keep happening and I have to keep playing new games.
There's a lot.
Partially because of my job, but Bonanza. Phenomenal game. Love it with every fiber of my being.
It's
runner-up. Honest to goodness, runner-up for me in this category was Prime 4, which is so weird to say because I admit that there are a lot of flaws with this game, but it is exactly what I need right now, because I was saying before about Silksong, like, I don't have that kind of focus, so the fact that this game isn't very exploratory is actually kind of working for me, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty freaking linear. especially by Metroid standards. You're just like, all right, and go here. Okay, thanks, Miles. Like, there's so many points in the game where I'll just sit still and be like, people. Yeah. Miles, where the hell do I go now? Like, I don't feel like figuring this out. Miles, tell me where to go. And I'm like, have you checked over in the ice belt? And then you go to the ice belt, and it's like, there are so many moments in Prime 4 that have just really blown me away. I put a bunch of them in the Discord. Don't read it. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but like,
well, I'm not gonna.
There was this one spot in the ice belt.
Can't start because too many other things.
Right. You see it in one of the trailers for a brief second where it's this snowstorm and you see Samus put her arm up like this. That sequence was so freaking good. It was relatively short, but it was one of those things where when it was finishing up, I was like, no, make the jump. Oh, like it was intense. It was gorgeous. It was wonderful. Like Prime 4 has got troubles for sure, but it also really knows how to hit the high notes when it needs to.
Yeah.
Brilliant game. But yeah, DK Bonanza.
Yeah, that would have been my runner-up, would have been DK Bonanza. Which is even more surprising to me that like Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2 and Silksong were not even in the top 2. Like, I enjoyed so many other things this year, and I'm so happy about that, you know? Like, I'm so pleasantly surprised by the fact
that's wonderful when that happens.
Yeah, like, you know, that I wasn't just like, oh, it's going to be fucking Wolverine, like, next year. You know, like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Wolverine. But I'm hoping that there's a bunch of stuff that comes out that really blows me away. But that brings us to our final category, Kris, which is our overall game of the year. And for me, again, now it's not surprising. It's South of Midnight. As much as I loved Blueprints, and I really, really did. I like saying the name Blueprints. I like putting the different inflection on it, so sometimes it sounds like a prince who is blue, but also, you know, pieces of paper that you draw shit from. Absolutely phenomenal game. Love it to pieces. But that's not a game that's going to make the rotation the way that South of Midnight is. And for everything that I just said, just an absolutely incredible game. Man, what I was saying earlier about why I gave Best New IP to Ball Pit is because with something like Blueprints or with South of Midnight, I do feel like, even though these were great new IPs, I feel like they might kind of be a one and done thing. There's a lot that you could do with South of Midnight, but I don't think there will be any more of it, which might be a bummer. Maybe they could take the story in a different way. Like, you'll see once you play it, kind of where the story leads into, you know, other things that could happen. But I really feel like these are kind of one and done things. So that's why I kind of pulled back and went with Ball Pit there, because South of Midnight really was just... I could have basically given a bunch of the awards to set, like, Best New Character, fucking Hazel Flood, you know, Best New IP, South of Midnight, Best Soundtrack, South of Midnight. Like, it could have just been South of Midnight all the way up. That's how much I fucking love this game.
Well, I love that you love it so much.
Well, there you go. I hope you love it too. I really do. I don't know if you're going to.
I don't either. I can't tell the future.
Man, I hope you do.
Well, mine is, I guess, well...
Mortal Kombat Legacy. Got it.
Mortal Kombat Legacy. No, I got to do my lead up, right? Because I do this. I think I do this every year. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of messages from Nintendo Force because the Mega Man Robot Master design contest is over in a few hours, and I haven't put one together. So, but everybody's putting theirs in the Nintendo Force chat because we're going to publish them in the magazine. So I'm going to draw something, but I haven't figured out what yet. But anyway, I do this every year. I read all of my Game of the Years to lead up to the 2025 one. Going all the way back to 2014, our first one back in 2014.
Fuck, I don't even know if I have that.
NES Remix 2. 2015, Super Mario Maker. 2016, AM2R. 2017, Breath of the Wild. 2018, Celeste. 2019, Horizon Chase Turbo. 2020, Animal Crossing New Horizons. 2021, Metroid Dread. 2022 Atari 50, 2023 Sea of Stars, 2024 Gimmick 2, because I'm a friggin' lunatic, and this year's Golden Caveman for me goes to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Big surprise, but holy crabs, that game was awesome.
Yeah.
Brought
it
me
really was.
much joy. It was so well done. It's everything I could have wanted out of a 3D Donkey Kong. You know, we finally got 3D Kirby. Now we got proper 3D Donkey Kong.
Now, if we can get proper 3D Kid Icarus, we'd be good.
We already did. Uprising was amazing.
It is. But I mean proper in where you can actually play it and not look and feel like an asshole.
Yes, I would very much like to see Kid Icarus Uprising on my TV in high definition graphics, but
that's right.
A man can dream. Well, there it is, everybody. Big congratulations to all this year's winners.
Yes. If you are interested in any of my runner-up picks, that will be posted to the Stone Age Gamer blog, which you can check out at stoneagegamer.com, because Ryan is so nice to let us use his name and not get mad at us maybe when he sees this podcast, because maybe he'll look at this one because he definitely doesn't listen.
Right, he's just gonna tune in. He's like, shit, I didn't know you guys were so ugly.
Wait a second, unzips.
Had I but known.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah,
time for a break.
That's the Golden King. Yeah, it's time for we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we're going to I think we're going to talk about week-old news. I didn't have almost anything, but I got a few stories to toss in there.
4 stories? 5. I've got 5 stories.
I think I might have pieced together 3. I don't know. We'll see. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least 2 of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore, because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans. All right, everybody, we're back, and my camera's not being weird anymore. We figured out the strangeness. My camera was trying to autofocus every time I moved my head, and I didn't really notice it, and Dan pointed it out. Well, we downloaded an app, and it fixed the problem, and now I'm not freaking out, everybody. So now the only thing that's weird is how shiny my forehead is. So, nothing I can do about that. Male pattern baldness is a thing.
That's right.
Well, now that we've so I just for complete. We were talking about the Mega Man Robot Master contest.
Yeah,
I have to come up with one, and I was trying to think of a name because the character has to have a long suction arm. So I did a Google search for vacuum cleaner attachments, and I just opened up this window, and it just says crevice nozzle on it. It's so funny.
Crevice nozzle man is a bit of a mouthful, but
crevice nozzle man.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like it. I like it. That's good. It's better than hand job man, which is what I was going to suggest. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, with that means it's time for my favorite segment, my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. Dan, talk to me.
Our friends over at Gizmodo report that there is a new doohickey. And I know
you say.
I know how much you like a doohickey. There had previously been a doohickey made by this company, Epilogue, called the GB Operator, that would allow you to play Game Boy games on your computer. Right? Pretty cool little device. They are now, they have announced that they will be shipping a similar product that will allow you to play your physical NES games directly on your PC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty
I
cool.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a Retroad. We used to carry the Retroad. Stone Age Gamer, that would allow you to rip your own NES games and do that kind of jazz. But alas,
yeah,
we haven't been able to get those in ages.
This is pretty cool, though. Plugs into your PC, and you just play your physical cart right in the right there on this little thing. It's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. My first story is Nintendo Life. Says feature, who is Devin Pritchard? Meet the next Nintendo of America president stepping into Bowser's boots. So Doug Bowser is no longer the president of Nintendo of America, and now we have a woman named Devin Pritchard. And
as of today, right?
Yeah,
like
as of
today,
we're recording this on
January
the
1st. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. Well, I'm trying to find where it actually goes with, let's see, why is it important to know? Well, because it follows a similar pattern to what we've seen with NOA's presidential promotions in the past. Let's not forget both Bowser and Reggie's NOA careers started in the sales and marketing departments, of which they were both vice presidents, and Kimishima came to the role off the back of his work in the Pokemon in Pokemon finances. If you want a new NOA president, you look to the internal marketing and finance departments first. So let's see, Pritchard joined Nintendo of America in 2006, heading up the subsidiary's legal department as its presidency changed from Tatsumi Kimishima to Reggie Fils-Aimé. She would go on to take leadership roles in the company's marketing, business affairs, and publisher relations sectors before landing her current title of NOA's Executive Vice President of Revenue, Marketing, and Consumer Experience in 2021. So, I mean, she certainly sounds... she's a Pikmin fan, so that's cool. She sounds like she's up to the task. I can't say that I liked Doug Bowser's tenure as much as Reggie's tenure. We have
it certainly wasn't as fun.
It wasn't quite as fun. Doug Bowser just clearly wasn't as comfortable on camera as Reggie. I'm very curious to see what Devin Pritchard's going to be like. I hope she winds up being a bit on camera. I hope we start seeing a little bit more personality. I hope with all of my heart that somebody at Nintendo starts really pushing back on its overly business-focused current situation, right? Because it's not like the magic of Nintendo is completely gone. It's not like they're not still making games like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World that have that sense of wonder to them. I mean, heck, we just had Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which was amazing. Like,
right.
The company is still making those kinds of games. This company is still making weird risks with stuff like Dragon Drive, which was not good, but you know what? I give Nintendo kudos for taking a swing. I don't know what they were thinking, but they had an idea and they said, screw it. We're going to make wheelchair basketball, but we're not going to let anyone say wheelchair, and it's just going to use double mouse controls. That's okay. That's a move, but you know what? It was a weird move. It wasn't something that you would have seen coming. That was weird Nintendo, for better or worse. And in that instance, just had to be worse. But I want to see more. I want to see a similar Reggie personality, right? Because Reggie was the one who fought to put Wii Sports in with every Wii, right? Reggie had opinions on things. Reggie was the one who stopped Disaster Day of Crisis from getting localized, which, I don't think was a very good idea, but he had an opinion on it. He thought the game wasn't up to the standards of something that Nintendo of America should publish, and so they didn't. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see. I want to see somebody with a real opinion on things, and I want to see somebody who really wants to move Nintendo of America in the right directions. And not that Doug Bowser did a bad job, just he wasn't
a different job.
Yeah, a different job. He wasn't what I'm looking for in a Nintendo guy. And I guess that's kind of where we're at. Nintendo is riding really high right now. For Nintendo Switch 2 has been, despite a lot of weird decisions, has been obscenely successful so far. Like record-breaking successful so far, which is a shock to me. I really didn't think it was going to go as well as it is. But here we are.
What do we know?
Yeah, what do we know? I hope to see more Risk, more strangeness. I mean, we are going to get a new Rhythm Heaven at some point, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Devin Pritchard. Nintendo of America has a new presidente.
Yeah, whenever you want to come on the show, Devin, let us know.
On.
We're here for you.
Happy to have you. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't even have to be video. We did 599 without him. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Our
just
friends
be a square.
Yeah, that's fine. Our friends over at Bleeding Cool report that CD Projekt co-founder Michael Klasinski has acquired Good Old Games, or GOG. So this is the co-founder of CD Projekt, famous for The Witcher and Cyberpunk. He has fully acquired the DRM-free PC gaming platform GOG. It will now operate 100% independently, continuing their commitment to having DRM-free ownership of the games that you purchase on their platform, which is really kind of awesome. Good Old Games has been operating under the CD Projekt banner for a number of years now, but with this purchase, they are now moving 100% independent. So will they stay the kind of bastion of DRM-free, you own the thing you buy gaming that they are currently? We shall see. That seems to be the indication. I think this is ultimately a good thing. Unfortunately, Good Old Games is just not... It's not the platform that Steam is. Right? Nothing is really ever going to be what Steam is. And Steam has its own issues with, there's been a lot of stories last year with censorship and games getting pulled and all of that sort of thing. Because they are a corporation, and corporations are not your fucking friends, as we've said plenty of times on this show. That being said, the idea behind Good Old Games, that these are DRM-free copies of games that you own, just the same way that when I bought Mega Man 2 100 years ago, that was my copy of Mega Man 2, and if I wanted to give it to somebody so they could play it, I could do that. It kind of keeps that spirit alive, right? So we'll see. But it is always interesting when these big platforms kind of change hands and change ownership. And, I am hopeful that it continues to do the thing that it has done and is known for.
I can't say I really knew that much about Good Old Games, to be perfectly honest with you.
Right.
I knew it existed, but it's just kind of outside of my wheelhouse. I didn't realize it was so tied to being DRM free. That's pretty great.
Yeah. Yep, that's kind of their whole shtick. All right.
Speaking of whole shticks, this doesn't make any sense by that standard, so screw it. Time Extension reports, limited run games has been my life for 10 years. Josh Fairhurst announces he's stepping away. This is very interesting. Josh Fairhurst has been an interesting, has been a person of interest in the various news bits related to limited run games in the past couple of years in particular. We've had an interesting relationship with our thoughts on Limited Run as a whole, right? Their book publishing department is amazing. Their games publishing department has left a lot to be desired, with like the 3DO games being burnt on like just rewritable CDs or something. Like they've made a lot of very public errors. So Fairhurst is leaving. So quote from Twitter: "With 2025 drawn to a close, it feels like the right time to announce that I stepped down as CEO at Limited Run Games back in September. I'm still working there as president until March, but after that, I'll be scaling back to redirect my focus to new adventures." So, I don't know how I feel about that. I would very much like to see Limited Run under new leadership, because I think as a company, they've got a lot of good. They've done a lot of good. They've got a lot of good potential. Maybe leadership was part of the problem. I guess we will find out as the leadership changes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't really know what he did. Like, all we get is the secondhand stories, right? So it's kind of hard to say exactly why a lot of the issues have been caused. But there is no question that Limited Run's reputation is less than stellar.
Yeah, and certainly has taken a hit over these last few years, where at one point Limited Run was like, oh, thank God we have a company like Limited Run that is making these, physical products for games that would never get them, yada, yada, yada. And now it's like, fuck, Limited Run, damn, all right, well, okay. We begrudgingly go through Limited Run to get certain things. And there is some stuff that they do that I'm genuinely very excited about. I am incredibly excited about this Jaws game that they are doing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that going to be? And it's because of the size of that company and the cachet that they have, I think. Anyway, I don't fucking know, but I think it's because of who they are as a company that they can do something like that, right? Where they're not just publishing a modern port of the Jaws NES game, but they are adding to it. So, good and bad, right? We'll kind of see. You gotta hope that this leads the company in a positive direction, right? Because it really can't get much more negative for them before people kind of turn on them whole cloth, which is not what I want to see. Anyway, for whatever that's worth. Let's see. Also from our friends over at Bleeding Cool, the Sleeping Dogs film. A game franchise that I'm a little bit familiar with. Never really grabbed me the way that I know it's grabbed a lot of people. But the Sleeping Dogs film has finally found a director. So Sleeping Dogs has been in development. It was announced in 2017. And Simu Liu is attached to star in the movie. He of Shang-Chi fame. He has announced on, I think it was on X, that Timo Tjahjanto will be directing Sleeping Dogs. Not a director that you know, Kris, because he has done mostly horror things. So definitely not stuff that you're necessarily familiar with. But the segments of the VHS movies of his that I've seen, he did a segment in VHS 94 called The Subject. He did a segment in VHS 2 called Safe Haven. Those were both pretty cool. He did another movie that I've seen, at least I think I saw this one, called May the Devil Take You 2. That I liked quite a bit. I'm just looking at his IMDb list. I didn't realize it was a sequel. Maybe this isn't the one I'm thinking of. I don't know.
This has been a fun ride.
Yeah, it's anyway. I've definitely seen his VHS stuff. It is an interesting choice to take a horror director and kind of put him on to Sleeping Dogs, which, from what I know, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't believe that is a horror game. So, look, more video game stuff getting made is awesome. more video game stuff getting made that is of a high quality is obviously what we're looking for. Simu Liu, I think, is a really good actor in all of the different things that I've seen him in. He's very passionate about this project. He really, really wants to get this made. So I am hopeful that we end up with a cool movie and not just it was pretty good for a Sleeping Dogs movie. You know, the game was better, but it was pretty good. I hope that this is just genuinely a good movie.
Yeah, same. I mean, I could be convinced to see it. I didn't care about Fallout at all. I've never played a Fallout game, but damn if that show ain't great. Can't wait to start season 2. Still haven't started it yet. We were finishing Stranger Things, but yeah. So yeah, count me in. I also think Simu Liu is pretty good. I really liked Shang-Chi, and I can't believe there hasn't been a sequel yet. It's kind of ridiculous. But speaking of actors, Go Nintendo reports the voice of Batman in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is, quote, petrified but humbled by the opportunity. I just thought that headline was cute. I didn't know that it was a different person. So, let's see. The taking on the role of Batman this time around is Shai Matheson, who gamers may recognize for his roles in titles like Final Fantasy XVI and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The quote says, first of all, in voice, Kevin Conroy is the go-to, the greatest of all time, so it's very scary. He adds that he is, quote, petrified to join this list of people that have contributed their voice and their acting talent to this game and to this character. I'm unbelievably humbled to be doing it. I feel like a competition winner just to be involved. That's just wonderful.
That is wonderful.
You do a great job. I'm not going to play the game. I never played the Lego games, but
I am really excited for this game. The Matthew Berry as fucking Bane, all right, I'm good. That's a day one purchase for me. That's fucking solid. I'm super into that. Not to mention that we've just really liked all the Lego Batman games, and they're fun and easy to play with the family and all of that. But I love that this appears to be going through the entire legacy of the Dark Knight. Right? It's the fucking title of the game, The Dark Knight Legacy. So if they can hit all of those different beats and do it with the kind of charm and fun that the Lego franchise usually does, I think this will be probably not my game of the year for 2026, but it'll probably end up being pretty high up there.
It'll be your Lego game of the year for sure.
It'll be, 100%. 100%. So this story, this
Lego
is the final
South of Midnight gets announced next week, and
so in. This story, I found so odd. This is the last story I have. Also coming from our friends at Bleeding Cool. The legendary 80s controller, the QuickShot 2, is receiving a modern upgrade. So the QuickShot 2 is a joystick from the 1980s. It was a Commodore 64, Spectrum, Amiga. You know this controller. You have seen this controller. I am relatively confident that most of us have used this controller. So anyway, the QuickShot 2 will be re-released as the QuickShot 2, but with all capital letters this time, which is fucking great.
Totally
it is, completely different. It is a mini console, right? So it's going to come pre-programmed with PC games. It's going to have a USB hookup. It's going to be released on January 30th. It is going to be $40. This is so fucking stupid, but I just love this controller. This article has no mention of what games will be coming with it, which is probably not a great sign. But yeah, this is awesome. It is such an iconic controller design, and anybody who is around our age who grew up, playing games in the 80s, even early 90s, will 100% see it. Be like, oh, that fucking thing. I know that thing. It's awesome.
Cool.
That's what I got.
Can't say that was anything that was on my bingo card, but here we are.
Right? QuickShot 2 getting released this month? Yeah, son of a bitch.
Okay. Last but not least, this story tickled me. Go Nintendo reports Atari CEO names Pushmo on 3DS as his top game of 2025. So Atari's been releasing these things for all the like a bunch of the people that work for Atari, doing their top 5 games of the year. And Wade Rosen, his number 5 was Elder Lilies. Number 4 was Death Stranding 2. Number 3 was Monster Train 2. Number 2 was Silksong. And number 1 was Pushmo for 3DS. Which is awesome.
Yeah, love that.
His quote says, Pushmo has a beautiful non-dopamine loop gameplay that is just pure joy. The world needs more games like this. In an age when everything is converging into a single ubiquitous viewing experience, it's amazing to play on something like the 3DS that will never be able to be replicated again, although I guess if they did it for the Virtual Boy, who knows? And now, the Pushmo, there is Pushmo on, I don't remember what the specific Wii U one was, but Pushmo doesn't actually need to be in 3D, but that 3D experience it's pretty difficult to replicate. It is a 3DS game. And Pushmo was a wonderful, wonderful little thing. I really loved those games, and I'm sad they stopped making them. I really hope they release some sort of Pushmo collection, because those games are evergreen. They'll always be fun to play. The fact that they're not on Switch is kind of weird. But the fact that Wade Rosen got around to playing a new 3DS game this year that he hadn't played before, and it was Pushmo and wound up being his favorite game of the year. I think that's pretty darn cool.
That is pretty darn cool.
I continue to like Wade Rosen being in charge of Atari. I genuinely like the decisions that he has been making and the company that the direction that company tends to move in. And that's it for Week Old News. It was a pretty light one because it's this time of year. There's just not a lot of big industry stuff happening right now. We'll get back into the swing of things soon, I'm sure. So with that, we're going to take ourselves another quick break. When we come back, we're going to check in with the checkpoint, talk about what we're doing, talk about our New Year's, and who the heck knows what else. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast. Everybody, we're back.
Look at Hopper's ass.
Oh. Where's that boy? Sorry, I didn't have my camera up. I was looking at my notes. See back there flopping around? What are you doing, bud?
I just, He was just showing his dog ass to the world.
You know, when I got a dog, I didn't really think that I was going to be spending so much time looking directly into its asshole, but
It's a not insignificant part of dog ownership.
Yeah,
it's one of the things we don't tell you in the rescue experience story,
You're going to spend a lot of time gazing directly into his asshole.
That's right. It is just constant balloon knot just in your fucking face. Yeah, I don't know.
This is the last part of the show, which means it's time for the checkpoint.
Checkpoint!
So this is the checkpoint. This is where Dan and I talk about all the things that have been going on in our lives and whatnot. And do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to do this?
Well, you go first. I think you've done a lot more this week than I had, because you've been off this week.
I have been off this week, and I've spent
you've had an opportunity
games.
To play games in a way that you never do.
That's right. I have relaxed and played video games, and it has been marvelous. For the most part.
Well, what you got?
Well, let's see. John has had me and various other people in the house playing a decent amount of Air Riders.
Okay.
I don't get it. I just can't get a grip on this game. I don't see the draw. It's really just like Air Ride for GameCube. I looked at it and I said, I don't think this one's for me. And that exact same thing has happened again. And now that I've played it a whole bunch with him, he wants to keep doing races, and the races go okay, right? Because we'll play the races, and I get that. I can wrap my head around the races. They're pretty fun. But then he goes to City Trial, and I just don't see where City Trial gets fun. I know that's sacrilege because people friggin' love City Trial, but man,
but if it's not for you, it's not for you.
I just don't get it. It's just a bunch of chaos. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. I'd say it's because I'm too old for it, but I didn't get it back in the old days either. It's just I don't know, man. Over on the VCS, I'd said I bought a bunch of new games, and I played a little bit more. I played a little more Roasty Buds. Roasty Buds, I think, is where I'm putting. I've been putting my focus on VCS. So I'm a handful of levels into it, and it continues to be great. It continues to throw in some new mechanics. It's the one I told you about where your little coffee grind things and you coffee beans and you save as many as you can to then happily jump into the grinder at the end of each stage.
That is neat. What you want as a coffee bean. You want to be turned into a delicious cup of coffee.
That you do. And I've spent a lot of time on Prime 4. I've spent as much time as I can just blowing through Prime 4, and I am just having a blast with it. Super missiles are really cool in this game. They animated those incredibly well. They feel very powerful. I don't know, man. I'm just having getting a lot of joy out of it. It's exactly the game that I need it to be right now. I remember when it was a couple of years ago, I replayed all the Prime games, and Prime 3, I felt like by the end of it was really kind of feeling sluggish to me. Like I remember by the end of Prime 3, I wasn't having a blast anymore. And I really do think that Prime 4 feels like a pretty natural evolution of the Prime games, which is, I feel like a lot of folks were looking at this in the way of, we just got Prime remastered, so we've now played this absolute masterpiece. What are we going to build off of this? And this really is like, it feels like a course correction to me because I'm thinking of Federation Force, right? So Prime 3 started to introduce talkative characters and more interactions with the actual Federation, the Galactic Federation. And I felt like Prime 3 was a little bit less, a little bit less explory. And if I remember correctly, the world wasn't as disconnected as this one is, but it still was like, you'd fly from one area to another area instead of being one interconnected world. I think that's the case. And then there was Federation Force, which I just didn't really enjoy at all. Prime 4 seems to be, it is the next step in the, as far as the narrative of Prime games go. Like the original Prime was all lore, like by reading things on Tower 4, and then in Prime 2, Planet Ether had with the Luminoth on there, and like you would talk to a couple of these Luminoth characters, and there would also be a bunch of lore. But then in Prime 3, now we've got voice acting. We've got the Federation involved. There's more soldiers that you can interact with. And now Prime 4, we've got even more voice acting, more direct interaction. Sorry, Federation Force was all the Federation, and there was lots of communication back and forth between the Federation troopers. And now we've got Prime 4, which is melding those things together. And it's a natural evolution of where we got through the Prime series. It was moving towards this direction. It's not this weird left-hand turn that I feel like a lot of people think it is. It's really a natural evolution of the series up to this point. Not necessarily the best natural evolution. It's not the way that I hoped it would have gone. What's your question?
Do you think this should have been a new sub-series? Like Prime should have been done, and this should have been... Or the Prime trilogy should have been what it is, and now Beyond should have been a new thing, like with a new number 1.
I think that's a possibility. I think that this very much, it's Metroid Prime. Like it plays the controls, the visuals, it is very much Metroid Prime. Except the fact that, as far as I can tell, Metroid Prime has nothing to do with this.
Right.
Metroid Prime was a creature in Metroid Prime. It was the last boss, which turned into Dark Samus, which was a recurring character in Prime 2 and Prime 3. So,
I mean, fucking spoilers, Chris. Jesus.
Metroid Prime was a part of the story, but now we're in Metroid Prime 4, and Metroids, and specific Metroid Prime, seem to have very little to do with it, which is odd to me, right? Like Metroid Prime Hunters. It could have just been called Metroid Hunters, right? It didn't, because it didn't really have anything to do with Metroid Prime, aside from being a spin-off of the spin-off series. So I let him go with that one. But, like, Metroid Prime Federation Force, like, the name has a meaning, and it's now becoming meaningless. It should. And that's kind of bothering me. Yeah, exactly, where it should. The trilogy of Metroid Prime, it really does have a meaning. It is very much a part of this, the central core of the story is the whole, what's that stuff called? Phazon and Metroid Prime / Dark Samus. Like, that's the whole ass thing.
It's a whole ass thing. Yeah.
Prime 4, like, it doesn't seem like it's delivering on Sylux, which is making me very frustrated because I was very excited about seeing Sylux. The 2 battles I've had with Sylux so far have been outstanding. He's a great character design. His whole thing doesn't seem to have like a big fat backstory. He just freaking hates Samus. Cool. I'm into that. Like, doesn't need
just
to be
a guy who hates a fish.
Yeah, I mean, like it's similar to Ridley, right? Ridley's just a dick. He's just a giant asshole dragon. Like, cool. Sign me up.
I'm into that.
That's great.
Sometimes it doesn't need to be any deeper. Yeah.
Ridley killed her parents. Why? Because he's a dick. He's just a murderer. He's a murderous pirate. And Sylux, I don't know. I want to see where this goes from here. I hope they continue to make sequels to this and like really from the ground up. No restarted development. No conflicting ideas like this one seems to have. I really want to see where it goes, and I want to because like the beginning of the game, the Sylux shows up with these weird looking Metroids that infect this creature that give it weird Metroid-y powers that aren't involved around like energy absorption. They really look more like Mocktroids than Metroids. And I thought that was fascinating. I was like, okay, what the hell is this? Where did he get these from? How is he in control of them? And why are they doing this? But then you wind up fighting other boss characters throughout the whole game, but you never see them get infected with these weird Mocktroids. There's no mention of it, other than when you scan them, they're like, Metroid infection caused this. Okay, but why? Where is this coming from? I want to know more about that. Yeah, but instead we get the focus of it seems to be on the Federation characters who are paper thin cliches. And honestly, of all of them, I like Miles the most. Miles is the one that like the internet friggin' hated, and like I don't know. I think he's fine. I think he's kind of funny. He's super nerdy about being on an alien world and finding all this new technology. And like, yeah, he's a bit much, but not that much. Whereas the other characters, like this character Mackenzie, I feel like a lot of people talked about, and I didn't really like her very much at all. She was just like fangirling over Samus, and then her commanding officer, quote unquote, died, but like he didn't die on camera, so you knew he wasn't dead.
So
like,
he's not dead for sure.
Exactly. Like that's not. I'm sorry if that comes off as a spoiler, but like if you've ever seen TV, this plays out exactly the way you think.
If you've ever read a fiction story or seen a movie or a television show,
if you don't see a body, then if there's
chances
no body,
are,
then chances are they're not dead. So
yeah.
You know, the desert is pretty wide open and kind of bland. The map in the desert is a huge pain in the ass because it's hard to kind of tell where you're going to uncover things. The enemies aren't as varied as you'd like them to be, but on the opposite side of the spectrum, the environments was one of the things that I was scared about in this game. Like, okay, forest area, ice area, fire area, but they did something interesting with them. The forest area has some really interesting ruins and plant life and creatures that don't want to hurt you. Just creatures that are
you were
there,
saying that last
living
week.
their lives. I love that so much about this game. All over the place in this game. There's just little bugs crawling around or little creatures trying to eat other creatures. They want nothing to do with you. They'll attack if you attack them, but if you just walk past them, they don't care. I love that about this, that it makes the world feel so alive. The ice area isn't just an ice area. It's a frozen hospital / like science lab thing.
Yeah, that's really
so
cool.
It's you wind up seeing all these really interesting things there, and it's really kind of freaky. The mines, the lava area, the way you traverse the lava is really cool. There's so much cool stuff in here. It is missing some of the core elements that make Metroid, and its reliance on... See, I think it's really interesting seeing Samus interact with the Federation, because Samus has always been so insular, right? It's just her. So whenever you see her interacting with other characters, I always find that really interesting, especially when it's done well. Like, Metroid Fusion was very talky. Like the whole thing with people complaining about Miles McKenzie being, you're trying to figure out where... The game just tells you where to go next all the time. That's not Metroid. Have you not played Zero Mission? Zero Mission literally does the same thing. You get to a Chozo statue, it shows you on the map the next place to go. Like, it just does that all the time. That's the whole game of Zero Mission, one of the most highly regarded Metroid games ever. Now, Zero Mission does have sequence breaking and a degree of exploration, obviously. But it's also pretty guided. So is Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
Like, super open Metroid games aren't always the case. And this one is more guided than the other ones, that is for sure. But to say that it's like not Metroid because of how far off it is, I just don't think that's true. Now, that said, I don't think it's a very good Metroid game because it is failing in those respects. It's not a great Metroid game, but I do think it's a pretty great game. Like, on its own, it is really fun to play. As a guided experience starring Samus Aran, who looks incredibly cool and rides a motorcycle for some reason, it's awesome. I am having a blast with it. I'm just not having my usual... I'm barely spending any time looking at the map, you know? And usually when I'm playing a Metroid game, I'm like, all right, let me look at the map. Let me see what's open, what's nearby, what doors haven't I been through. I'm almost never doing
what
that.
Can I explore? What can I go check out? What can I come back to? That sort of thing.
Like, oh, I just got this new thing. Where should I go back to? I'm not really sure. And when you do go back to places, Miles doesn't have a good reason to tell you that. Like, I'll be riding around the desert trying to figure out where to go next, and you'll be like, hey, have you been to the Ice Belt? Yeah. Why should I go back there? You've got new abilities. Maybe you should go back to the Ice Belt. Okay, why the Ice Belt? Come up with something that says like, oh, there was a strange reading over in the Ice Belt of something. Maybe you should check that out. Like they didn't go that far. You know, like there was just that, it was missing that little bit. But that said, again, I am having so much fun. The boss fights have been really challenging. I've died at least once in most of them, which is not something that I can say happens to me all that often in Metroid games. Now, granted, I didn't. There's these green crystals all over the place, and you're supposed to get these green crystals, and you're supposed to put them in this thing. And I wasn't paying attention when they were talking to me about this thing. apparently when you put green crystals into this thing, you get power-ups. And one of the first power-ups you get is a stronger gun. So a handful of the areas that I really struggled with probably would have been a bit easier had
you paid attention.
Had I paid attention. So like the monsters that are, you see different, basically this game's space pirates, right?
Okay.
Because again, that's kind of a Metroid Prime thing. You've got different flavors of the same enemy that show up over and over again.
Right.
There are these things called grievers, which I absolutely love the story of this game. The planet that you're on, I can't remember the name of these things. They look kind of like axolotls. But they're like, so we didn't want to use technology anymore. We found these rocks that give us psychic powers. So we did that, and we made all of our civilization around using psychic powers now, which is great. Except the rocks made, 80% of the population turn into murderous, just nutcases.
I mean, it's a worthwhile trade-off.
Instead of just getting rid
Twitter's
of all the psychic power
terrible
stuff, we decided to double down on it and figure out, no, we can figure this out. We can fix these guys, and we're going to use our psychic powers to do it. They're so dumb. They're so dumb, and the degree of hubris on display, I find it absolutely hysterical. Because, like, this is a civilization that crashed itself basically because of its own hubris. It's not, they try to play off that they're this noble race or something, like the Chozo or the Luminoth, who are from the previous games, were like, oh, this tragic thing happened to them, like the thing with Planet Ether being split into dark and light with the aim.
Right.
This is just like,
these are just assholes.
You brought it all on yourselves, and they're like, there's going to be a chosen one that's going to show up and fix everything, which is effectively you, but it's like, you could have just not. Yeah, you could have just not. Like, let's not wait for a chosen one to show up and fix all your problems after you're all dead. Like, it was just pure humor, and I love that about this. The lore is interesting because it's not interesting. It's like, no, these guys were just hubris assholes. Yeah. This is just stupid. Wow. There's just there's a lot of cool concepts in here.
Yeah.
And boy, when it gets shit right, it gets shit right. This game's very, very fun to play. There's some very cool set pieces. But if you're going into this looking for a Metroid game, you're probably going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
That said, we know Metroid games have never sold particularly well, so maybe this is actually doing well? Like, maybe this will make other people happy? I really don't know. I have no idea how well this game's actually doing. I know they're promoting the heck out of it, and I know it's a really good-looking game, and I'm having a blast with it. I don't regret my purchase even a little.
Really, really excited to get to it. I haven't been able to this week, mostly because Roddy has been playing Pokemon Legends ZA, and we don't have two Switch 2s. We're not rolling in it like that. But I also have had plenty of other things to play as well, right? Like, I've played through a bunch of Ghost of Yotei this week, which has been just awesome. But we talked about that earlier. Indiana Jones has been outstanding. Still playing through Death Stranding. Doing a bunch of stuff on the Portal. And that has been... I've been so fucking happy with that gift, right? Because I wasn't sure how much I was going to use the Portal. Fuck, you and I, we were driving around. I couldn't even remember the name of the damn thing. I was like, oh, it's that thing I want. That's fucking whatever. It was, I don't know, the PlayStation Portable. Like, we were so close. Which is not a great sign that two people who do this for a big portion of their lives, couldn't remember the name of the damn thing, but I have found myself using it all the fucking time. It is a great, great little piece of hardware. It is super, super comfortable to hold. Like, I find it, out of the three that I have now, right, out of the Steam Deck, the Switch 2, and the PlayStation Portal, I find the Portal to be the most comfortable to hold for a longer period of time. It doesn't have a kickstand or anything built into it like the Switch 2, so I can't just sit it down and use a different controller, which I don't even know if you can do. I don't think you can. Maybe you can. I haven't explored it because I don't need to. But the screen is great. The connectivity is awesome. It does. So the only really negative that I've experienced so far is wanting to play a certain game and having to put the disc into the PlayStation to be able to access that game, right? Which was a drawback of physical ownership that I hadn't really considered with this particular piece of hardware. Where, like, I bought the game, I installed the game on my hard drive. I don't know that I can then stream the game if I don't have the disc in there, right? I didn't even think of it. It's like, well, no, obviously I can't, right? I have to either buy it digitally and I can stream whatever, or switch the disc. So that's been somewhat of a thing. We're like, well, maybe there will be some other games that I buy digitally or whatever, but absolutely awesome little piece of hardware, and just jumping in and playing, like, I'm gonna fucking play Tekken 3 while Tiff is watching something on TV, or we're just, she's putting on, episodes of Sherlock or whatever the fuck. All right, I'll play Tekken 3 for a little bit. Not really trying to do anything in it. I'm just gonna play Tekken 3 for a little bit, and then I'll jump in and I'll play a little bit more in Death Stranding, or I'll play a little bit more in, whatever. Has just been absolutely awesome. But really, other than that, like, I've spent a lot more time with Ball Pit this week. Now, I'm assuming you got Ball Pit based on what you were saying earlier. Mm-hmm. It hasn't really grabbed you yet, though. Is the feeling I'm getting? Oh, yeah, okay.
No, it did. It got there. So Ball Pit, was the next thing I was going to talk about. I played it and I messed around with it. I did the first little level thing. I was like, okay, this is kind of neat. And then I did a second run, and I was like, okay, this is kind of neat.
This is kind of cool.
I did a third run. Just they started doing the whole building a farm thing, which is like,
yeah,
I don't want this at all. But I want to get back to the ball part. That was pretty fun. So I did a third run, and it was neat. Again, these runs lasted like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Right.
Then my next run was like 20 minutes. It's like, okay, I'm in.
I got it.
I got it. It snapped. I started combining things because I just had to get like those first couple of levels, like build me up just a little bit so that I could survive a little bit longer. And then once that started happening, really what changed was I started playing it like Breakout, because I was playing kind of like a shooter before, where I was just like,
and it's
okay,
fucking
I gotta get
not
this thing
just
going
all
straight. And then I was like, no, Breakout. Try to get it behind things so things bounce around. And once I started getting that going, it was over. I was like, all right, this is scratching the Vampire Survivors itch, for sure. This is
right.
It's Vampire Survivors, but Breakout, and it was wonderful. But I haven't gone back to it because I was really I'm trying to get Prime 4 done. Like, I'm going away for the weekend tomorrow, and I really didn't want to bring the Switch 2 with me and play. I didn't want to finish Prime 4 handheld. I want to finish it on the TV.
Right. That's a TV experience.
Yeah, I want it to be the big TV thing. So. But I guess I'm not finishing it before our awards show because we did that already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely will be putting more time into Ball Pit. That was very fun. I am looking forward to playing more of that.
It's just so fucking good.
It is.
It's so good.
Pretty dang neat.
It's so weird how, it's like, because so many Vampire Survivors-esque things came out, right? And it, like, there's, what the fuck is the big one on Steam right now? Gigabonk or whatever, like, is another one like that. And fucking Brotato and like all of these just different things. Fuck, I can't remember the Kung Fu one that Mike and Rauchi were talking about when we were up there this past weekend, or 2 weeks ago, whatever the fuck. But that one, like, there's so many of these games that came out, and some of them are really good. Dean has talked about that Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I think is the one he's talked about. But kind of that, like, bullet hell, endless roguelite thing. But then Ball Pit comes out, and it's like, yeah, that, but Breakout, and you're like, okay, but then you actually start playing it that way, and you're like, fuck, this is amazing. I am just going to do this forever. Or certainly until what is it, Crawlers? Is
Vampire
that the
Crawlers? Yeah,
Vampire Crawlers. Like, man, I don't know if that game can deliver the way that I wanted to. And it doesn't have to, because I have Ball Pit now. So thank you, Kenny's son. Also, Kenny, whenever you would like to be on the show, just send us an email. You're more than welcome. Yeah, fucking rad. Such a cool game. I'm so glad you like it, too, because I hate when I suggest things to you, and you're like, you're an asshole, I didn't love it. Because you and I do have very different tastes in shit sometimes.
We do indeed, yeah.
You know?
But yes, now that Ball Pit was great. Looking forward to playing more of it. I get it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, on to my actual New Year's. So, New Year's Eve, Ellie went and stayed at her friend's house, and it was just me, Karen, and John. And we wanted to play like a bunch of games that came out this year. That's what John suggested, because we were talking a little bit about kind of coming up with my Game of the Year list for the show tonight. And I was like, you know what would really make me happy? I have not tried Looney Landers 2-player yet. I haven't played that with another human yet. I would really love to watch you and Mommy play Looney Landers. So we started off upstairs. We played like a couple levels of the Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That was pretty fun. Mm-hmm. We played. We wound up playing a little bit of Mario Kart. We played a bunch of Air Ride, and I was just like, okay. But then we went downstairs, and I was like, all right, let's play Looney Landers. So I put a joystick in each of their hands, gave them the basic premise, which is super simple. And it was the most fun I've had in ages. It was so much fun. Just me commentating, basically, on the two of them, going back and forth and, like, kind of coaching them along. Oh, look, there's the 1700 you can land on over there. Like, because it's a simple arcade game. There's a little plane up top, and you jump out. Yeah. And you have to try to land on different platforms with different point levels on them. And it's so fun. But, man, the two of them were real close. John eventually wound up, like, absolutely crushing it, but for the first like 5 or 6 rounds, the two of them were very, very close and very competitive, and it was just really fun seeing them go through that. And then I played against John, and I whooped his ass because that's what I did.
As well, the father should.
Right, it is my right. It is my right as the father to do that.
It is your right and your responsibility. If we're being honest,
gotta keep him humble.
Right, otherwise he's just going to go around thinking his shit don't stink, and, you know, we can't have that.
Then he went upstairs, and we watched the Stranger Things finale, which I was very happy with. We actually wound up getting through the end, but there was still 45 minutes left, and we're like, what the hell else is going on in this? But then we had to stop because John came downstairs. He wanted to play Animal Crossing for the end of the year, because he likes to do that every year. It's just like I like to beat Super Mario Brothers the first thing in the new year. So afterwards, John eventually went to bed, and so the Stranger Things finale totally pulls the Lord of the Rings. Like, it just keeps ending. It's like there's epilogue after epilogue after epilogue, and they're all nice, but by the time you're done, it's like, man, we've been at this for a while. Like, they finished the story about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, and that was very satisfying. And then again, like, the epilogues were real nice. And I feel like it would have been really, if I was in charge, I would have had a hard time cutting them myself. But also, like, somebody needed to be brave enough to chop those down, because that
to be like, maybe not, guys. Maybe not.
Just kind of sucked a little bit of the air out of the ending, because, like, okay, like, it's nice to have Steve and Nancy and the whatever all wrapped up, but also like, I didn't really need that specific degree of wrapping up. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah. And now, so anyway, 20 years in the future, like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is,
and it's like, again, it's not like I don't give a shit. But, like, the story was over. Like,
right. I'm done now.
You told the story. This is all neat stuff, but, like, this is the kind of stuff that ends up on the editing floor for a reason. But all in all, I mean, really, I was very thrilled with it. The whole big final sequence versus Vecna is very, very good.
I'm very excited to get to it. We haven't started it yet because Penn wants to watch it with us. So we're not going to make her go back and watch all the previous seasons. That would be absurd. And we were waiting for everything to be out so we could watch it all kind of, over a couple of days in one chunk. We also had to finish Pluribus first, which we did 2 days ago. We finished Pluribus, and fuck, man, that show is just absolutely incredible. Highly, highly recommended if you have not watched any of Pluribus yet. Just outstanding. Reese Sehorn is doing incredible work. The writing is great. The directing is great. All of that good stuff. I'm so excited to see where they go in season 2 of that show, because where they end is pretty fucking spectacular in season 1. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, the show starts off really, really strong, and you're kind of like going through all of this stuff, and all of these things are happening, and then you kind of get to a middle part where it all really fucking slows down, and it's good stuff, but it slows way down. And then the last 2 episodes are like, nope, fucking right back up to 60, pedal to the metal, like we're flying down, and then it just ends. Right? Fuck, man. All right, cool. I guess I'll just wait forever for this to come. Like, I hope there's not a huge gap between the seasons. This is really a show that needs to come back. Maybe not necessarily in like September, October, but relatively soon.
Right.
But we finished that. We watched the new episode of Fallout, which was great. Fucking Macaulay Culkin's in it. It's like, hey, it's that guy. That's awesome. Watched that, and then Penn went out today. Roddy wasn't feeling good today, so Penn went out with her friends. She's going to watch like a recap thing for Stranger Things, and then we'll probably start that tomorrow.
She's seen them before, right?
No, they were not interested in any of it, which I thought was like super weird, because that show is so for my kids.
I don't love the idea of her watching the last season without actually seeing the previous seasons. That's a huge disservice.
She's
I know
definitely
you don't
not
wait.
going to. she's just not going to watch all 4 seasons. She wants to. So she wants to watch them in the same way that she wants to do a lot of things. I'm not disparaging my kid. Like, it's just the fact of like, she didn't watch them. She also is getting very excited about some of the Marvel stuff coming up, but like, she didn't watch all of them, and we are terrible parents and have not sat down with our kids and, made them watch all of the movies and whatnot. So she'll watch a recap. She'll be fine. It'll be okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
I don't love that.
I feel like I need a recap a little bit on that show, because it's been so long. We watched all the recaps that are on Netflix, like for each season before we started the final season. But yeah. No, the only other thing I want to talk about is, just because I have to say it out loud, Cat Goes Fishing is actually pretty damn cool. I didn't really expect that, but John was like, all right, would you please play this? I really want you to play this. I think you'll like it. I was like, all right, fine. I'll sit and I'll play it. It's pretty good. So it's a pretty basic fishing game. Yeah. You're a little fish, and you press the mouse button once to pull your rod back, and then you press it again to cast it. And there's like small fish, medium fish, bigger fish. And like any fish you catch, you can either cash it in or you can turn it into bait for the next thing. Okay. So you just keep casting and try to catch bigger fish and bigger fish. Yeah. And that gets you more money. The more money you get, you can buy new lures and new rods that can get you out further or get your thing to go deeper. Eventually you can get a boat so that you can actually start moving around on top of the water. But then like, you can't sell the fish unless you're at shore. So you've got to like do this trick where you flop the fish back into the boat. Like, you can't just say put fish in boat. You have to like
bring your rod back and then let go of them so that they land in your boat. And but also, like, when you're catching the fish, other fish will come and eat the fish as you're trying to reel them in. What a bunch of asshole fish. Because you get these missions as you go. And it's like, this sounds like the kind of thing that's like full of microtransactions, but it's not. You can't spend real money on any of this stuff. It's all in-game money. So it's just a straightforward game about catching as many fish and making money while you do it.
About murdering fish.
Oh my God. And you really want to, like, some of the mustard fish. I want to kill those friggin' mustard fish. The mustard fish and the grumpers, they're just such assholes because, like, you'll get this really nice looking fish. There's some other fish that looks like a mustard fish, but he's got a real grumpus on his face, so he's like, he's a grumper fish. He's a grumpfish. So you get these things, and you're pulling this fish in, and then the one will come just and like, chomp him. So now that fish is basically worthless to you, and it also doesn't count for your whatever your missions are if the fish has a bite taken out of it. So you gotta like catch all those fish and then cast past where they were so you can get them back safely and stuff. It's an interesting game. It's fun. I really enjoy playing it, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I've done like 3 proper sessions in John's room, and he loves watching me play it because he's, I got like, $7,000, and I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And he's like, all right, switch back to his game. He's got like $7 million. Like,
oh shit.
All right, fine, you bastard. Because he's been playing it pretty much nonstop since he got his computer. That and Geometry Dash. He's been putting a ton of time in Geometry Dash, and it was pretty fun. I was talking to, was it you? No, I was talking to Mike, and he's like, well, how is he enjoying Minecraft on his computer? I was like, I didn't even think of that. It never even occurred to me. I mentioned it to John. I was like, John, we can get you Java Edition. He was like, oh my God, we can. It's never even occurred to us. So we're going to figure out Minecraft on his PC too, because why not? It'll run better than the damn Switch version, which runs terrible. Yeah. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I will be upgrading Roddy's PC because we got him the graphics card, and then
it's too big.
It's too big to fit
too
in the
much
case.
Girth.
Too much girth. The story of my life. So the card's too big to fit in the case, and the power supply we have is inadequate. So it's been. This is why I don't fuck with PC shit. Like, this is exactly why. But I'll be figuring all that out this weekend, and hopefully he will be up and running all the nonsense. Probably not This Cat Goes Fishing. I mean, I'm looking at it, and man, I don't know. It's not for me. I'm glad John is loving it.
I don't know that it's for you, but I also don't know that it's not for you. Like,
yeah,
it's super cheap, right? It can't cost much, right? It was like $3 or something.
$4.68 right now on Steam for the sale.
I say if it drops down to like $2, you should give it a go, just for the experience.
I will
tell me what you think.
I have added it to the wish list. It is not cheap enough currently for me to take a shot on Cat Goes Fishing. Because, like, it is currently more expensive than The Witcher 3. So, now I understand that that's a Steam sale and all of that, but, like, maybe not yet. Maybe not yet.
Good times.
Good times, great oldies.
I think that's about all I had to discuss this week. I do really want to get back. Like I said, I want to get to. I really want to start Adventure of Samsara, but there's also that. What was that game with the stupid name? It was like Maze 16 Super 3D something or other on VCS. Yeah. That I did play another couple of one other level of that. It's a really interesting game, and I think maybe I want to get through that one before I start Adventure of Samsara. Just because I have already started it, and I don't think it's that long, but it's a really interesting game. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to spending some time on my VCS this year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. My other New Year's resolution is, besides making the lower half of my body work again, because I've definitely hurt myself in fun and interesting ways and learned things about my exercise routine that are probably hurting me because, like, my hip flexors, I believe, are extraordinarily weak, and I've done nothing about that for my entire life because I didn't know they existed because I don't know shit about anatomy. But I am starting to figure out that's where a lot of pain is coming from, and also it's involved with the way that I sleep, which is one of the reasons that my back and my hips have not been getting better, is because I sleep on my side, and which is terrible for that. So I need to train myself to sleep differently and or get different, like a different body pillow or something. But one of my missions this year, one of my New Year's resolutions, and I don't know if I'm going to pull it off, but I'm going to try, is to do a pull-up.
Okay.
I've never been able to do a pull-up in the entirety of my life. I've never been able to actually just do a pull-up. I have pull-up.
Faith that you can get that done by this time next year.
Theoretically, I'm going to keep working on it. I want to be able to do a pull-up by this time next year. And not just
I want to do
one.
I think you'd be able to do 5 in pull-ups.
All right. That
is on a higher Patreon tier, just in case anybody is wondering. Watching Kris do pull-ups in pull-ups is going to cost you. We won't give that shit away for free. Obviously.
It's going to cost you in more ways than one.
That's right.
Well, there you go. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope. This was not the 6-hour extravaganza that perhaps people were expecting based on the 500th episode. But look, we're a lot older. That was 2 years ago.
And those 2 years were like 10 years ago.
God, fuck. They really were. They really, really were. But, no, this, I think this was good. This is our first official video podcast. So if you are, joining us for the first time, hi, nice to have you. Please stick around. We will certainly work out whatever kinks. Well, no, we're not going to work out our kinks. That's what makes us who we are. But any of the bugs or the weird things that happened during this episode, I'm sure we will, continue to work on those. But I am very, very much looking forward to this year. Quite frankly, fuck 2025 and 2024. Both of those years can get fucked, and the horse that they rode in on. I've noticed a distinct lack of people saying 2026 is going to be my year. That I've noticed is really not a thing that's happening. And I'm not going to go so far as to say that 2026 will be, but just let's get through it. As I forget who said it in our Discord, but hopefully this year will be a little bit more precedented than some of the previous years.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what to think. I got a lot ahead of me this year. I got a lot behind me last year. I've got a lot ahead of me this year. I don't know, man. This is going to be an interesting. Yeah. Maybe I'll talk about it someday. But in the meantime,
we'll see. Hit the subscribe button. Smash that bell for alerts, fuckers. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Does that endear people?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's it. This is our first video episode, our 600th episode of the Stone Age Gamer podcast, and that is our show. Join us next time for the 2026 year in preview, where Dan and I, every year, we sit around and think about what new games we're excited about for next year, and I got nothing, man. Bubsy 4D?
I mean,
I'm gonna have to do some research. That's not nothing. No, I'm gonna have to do a little research. There's really very little off the top of my head that's exciting me for next year, which is kind of odd that it gets me really excited because I have so many games I want to play already. So we'll see.
Right. Yeah.
Anywhoosers, we're on most social media platforms. If you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows in the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ali. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making this show listenable for all you folks. I'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.